I can't wait to see how more of the art ends up panning out. But more importantly, I want to see what the players think of their own art, because I feel like some of them might not be fairly
That's
represented.
true.
Yeah. I wish they would interview them after showing them the art and asking them if they think it's accurate or not, and if so, why not?
We need
Or
like
why.
we need like a voted on best and worst art from the players and best and worst art from the community, and we'll see how those compare.
For sure. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool too, and probably really appropriate if we could do that towards the end of the season as well. Also, I just want to make a brief little comment here on the Value Town logo. It's at first I wasn't sure what it was, and I just realized it's Trump Towers with a dollar sign on it. So
How do you know it's
that's
Trump
what it is,
Towers?
right?
I don't know. It's just a dollar sign.
Yeah,
Is that how
it's
the
kind of
Trump
like
Towers look?
symbolizing how Trump like is kind of like Donald Trump and how
It's a stack of value.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah. And I don't know, maybe he wants to be president too, but it might not work out. Who knows? I don't think Trump's a Republican, though. Taking a look at the lineups overall, the two things stick out to me. One is the Shaman from Brian, but the second thing is no Druid is represented at all.
Not at all. Druid is a class that I think a lot of players regard as inconsistent, and I'm not surprised to see this case from Value Town, but I'm a bit surprised to see the case from Cloud9. I think it's a good tournament deck overall. I think in the like fabricated teams, like Value Town is, for instance, again, I think that element of risk some players are not willing to take. Holy cow! That's Kibler the Vampire versus Kento the Pirate.
That is the next expansion, in fact. Archon League revealing
Vampires
Blizzard
versus
secrets.
Pirates.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I would play a lot of that expansion because I'd want to kill the vampires every time. But the whole point is that Kibler's supposed to be a dragon trainer, right? Because he's got the whelp on his shoulder. Or is that a whelp?
Yeah, it is, but that also means he's supposed to play priest, which he's not, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Fabulous hair, though. 10 out of 10. They got that correct.
God.
He kind of looks a little like James Vanderbeek in this picture.
What about Kento? Like, I don't know how fitting he is as the pirate. He doesn't seem like the eccentric type.
It's supposed to be an inside joke, though, with, I think, the Pistolotov or whatever, in how Kento kind of looks like that, and then the pirates thing, so... That's the joke. Hope you guys laughed and had fun. And that's part of what this whole point is. But now it's time to get a little bit more serious as we have Kibler versus Kento. We have the Shaman versus the Warrior. And this is the Patron Warrior, which is supposed to capitalize on Shaman as one of the weak classes against this, primarily because you always have these small targets that ends up buffing the Frothing Berserker. But we also talked about how it might not be mid-range Shaman, it might be Mech Shaman. This is exactly the case.
Job's done.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, Mech Shaman is an okay deck. I think if you get that pressure early on, it can do just fine against Grim Patron Warrior. But we'll see.
Well, I would say it would do okay if it curved well, but now that it's going to be hero power 2 turns in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first things first. Can Kibler say that Klento's not holding a Fiery War Axe because he would have coined out the previous turn, right?
Yeah.
So, if he knows his opponent doesn't have Fiery War Axe, is it safe to play this Flame Tongue Totem?
Flame Tongue into like a Taunt Totem into the mech to kill the Armorsmith?
Yeah, or you can even attack Armorsmith now so that Inner Rage and Cruel Taskmaster don't get value. Or if you feel like he plays Control Warrior, then you have to be careful. That's actually a good point. We don't know if it's...
I think Kento in the recent past has been shown up to tournaments with Patron Warrior. And I think that's kind of expected too, so I think this is pretty fair assumptions. Whirlwind, I guess if you're making that attack, it's a Whirlwind. No? Oh, Battle Rage.
Yeah, the Battle Rage...
doesn't want to be taken for free. I see.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Well, he does get to use his totem to kill off. That's a nice little caveat there. So he can keep the Cogmaster alive.
Yeah, and that's one of the bonuses of the 1/1 totem. Sometimes it's just the best totem. Very rarely the case, but sometimes it is. And sometimes you just keep getting it. I know there was one video.
One guy?
Yeah, got like 6 in a row or something.
No, I think it was like, wasn't it absurd, like 8 times in a row? And he said, like, I'll concede if he gets it one more time at the very last one, and they got it.
Yeah, and he did. Yeah.
That's good manners, man.
Okay.
Oh, that's a pretty good draw, the Power Mace. That allows him to stabilize the early game board, and then not lose his Flame Tongue Totem, guaranteed. You think the Shredder's better?
He's not guaranteed to lose it here. I don't know if the Shredder's better, but really when you're playing an aggressive deck, if you don't know what's better, you will play what's on curve.
That's a good point, because then you're able to at least fill it out the rest of the game according to your mana usage here. And you do have that Fel Reaver next turn, so it's not exactly that you need the buff for the weapon. On turn 4, your opponent's usually playing things like Gnomish Inventor, though, and you still can remove it while playing the Pilot Shredder, so I'm okay with playing this Power Mace.
Yep. Okay, well, the Whirlwind, is there much of a play here? I think you just weapon up. You might consider not playing the taunt, even though it's free. You don't really want to give him an extra excuse to use the weapon, I feel. Yep. Kento thinks the same. Fel Reaver, boys.
Yep. This
I think you don't attack with your weapon, though. That creature's big enough.
Yeah, it's still susceptible to Big Game Hunter and Execute. Both of which you're not expecting this Fel Reaver to do too much initially. But it sets up so that way your threats the following turns are going to be just as devastating. Because you're going to have like a 6-7 or a 6-5 with Death Rattle summons. Ooh.
Kento's like, oh my god.
Oh, wow. He looked really stressed over that. He's okay, though. I think he'll be fine. In the end, he's got ways to draw cards.
This for all we know, Kento like teched out executes for like some more combo cards, and he's like, "Oh my god, it happened."
No way. You wouldn't take out executes.
No, you wouldn't. No way.
It's like that guy that forgot Grim Patron in his patron deck. He was putting so many whirlwind effects and stuff, he like forgot to put Grim Patron in the deck itself.
Yeah. Well, he can deal with it here. It just sucks.
It's a lot of damage to take. You take 8 to your own face. He does get to draw 2 off of Battle Rage, though. I forgot about that. Or 3, rather. I wasn't paying attention to what got milled. Was there anything noteworthy at all?
Yeah, the other Fel Reaver.
Okay. Oh, he plays 2 Lava Burst. Wow, this is a very burst-centric deck here with a lot of burn. So...
And one thing I've like almost never seen is Silence in this Grim Patron deck.
Well, you don't really need Silence as much. You got Weapon Removal and Executes. That help you get past taunts.
I think that makes it so the Shredder is a stronger target to buff than the Yeti. Often this would not be the case.
Yeah, I agree. Is there a scenario where the Yeti would be stronger against this deck? I don't think so. I think the Shredder is just really important because you keep something on board.
Yeah, if you get like what's it called, Emperor next turn.
Ah, you're right. Because then it makes it cheaper.
No, Emperor just kills it. So you have to use Lava Burst to screw up Ragnaros.
Oh, you're talking about the other way, right? Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Kento picks up the Fiery War Axe here. Not the most useful card. Does he feel like he has to use Execute here? He's not sure because it feels like...
I like Whirlwind Execute. I even like it with the Acolyte up.
Well, he wants to set up Death Spite here, so he will use a Death Spite to answer whatever comes down.
You think so? I think he's going to do the Loot Hoarder Fiery War Axe. Because the Death Spite doesn't really help right now.
Yeah, I suppose so. You do set up the Whirlwind effect for next turn, though, so that Acolyte could get value. And you can also answer whatever 5 health minion comes out. But it does, now that you saw whatever comes out of the Shredder, you can go for that Loot Hoarder play. And it does the similar damage as it would for the Death Spite.
Similar idea here. Loot Hoarder would get punished by Earth Shock. So this works out better.
Oh, what a draw. To answer that immediately. That's pretty much the way you want to do it. Although, does you want to take the damage on this at all?
Yeah, you might want to Earth Shock.
I wonder.
Yeah, if you Earth Shock this, then just Fire Elemental will stay at 5 health, and your opponent needs like Slam in order to remove it, or Whirlwind with the Death Spite.
Whirlwind with a Death Spite. Like, that's a victory.
I think the Earth Shock, in his opinion, is too valuable for cards that need to draw like Acolytes.
It's true. It's true. But it would have been good there to use, knowing both hands.
Yeah, for sure. And now this is 2 draws. That's pretty nuts. And this is the second Fire Elemental. I think Kibler also has Dr. Boom in his deck. It has to. That's the way if he tops out Rag.
This deck is pretty standard. Okay, we have a Shredder. I don't know if I like Ragnar's too much, but I guess if it goes face, you get another burn. It's pretty easy to win. Oh, look at that face.
Oh! 8 damage to the face. Was there any surprise?
Jeez.
Okay, so you can set up more targets for Ragnaros, but do you want to just set up more targets and then like go aggressive here?
What
yeah, you think so? I think you just play everything. Actually, no, you're dead. You're dead because you Earth Shock Ragnaros and Lava Burst the taunt. You can't win.
Oh, he doesn't know that. I mean, but we're talking about Kalento's play here. But he is,
right.
He is dead.
No, but I just realized Kibler wins no matter what right now.
Unless he draws a second execute.
Yeah.
Off of the Acolyte of Pain.
He does have to draw his last remaining execute here. But
I think
I don't really like that play too much. I think his odds are better taunting up and charging. Alright.
Well, there's also the possibility that Kibler doesn't see this lethal. We've seen people miss lethals here and there by not silencing their Ragnaros.
Well, he did the head shake, which lets me believe he may not have seen it.
Just wait to make sure. I mean, oh. Okay, he knows. So that's going to wrap up game number 1 here.
Look at that! Kibler on the board!
Yeah, with Shaman.
With Shaman. Taking out Grim Patron Warrior from Kento. Whoa.
And let alone that he had the really bad turn 2 and turn 3 plays because he didn't have a good curve.
Very cool stuff. I don't think anyone would have bet on Kibler in that match, to be honest. But here we are. Point on the board for Value Town.
Yeah, we're here now. Value Town. People peg Value Town as probably one of their favorite teams, but not sure how they'd actually do. Of course, Dog doing really well, and Trump seems to be always in the very big mix of things, going like top 4 in a lot of events. Yeah. But it's a big wild card to see how far they can go, considering that they don't necessarily have the general team chemistry here. But I'm not sure either, because Cloud9 is also known around the pro scene to be independent, really, with how they practice. It's not like StrifeCro and Kento meet together every week and say like, well, we're so great at Hearthstone, here's a deck. It's like, well, here's a deck, and they don't really do that.
The thing is, right now, like Trump and Dog are like at the top of their game. They're doing like excellent in tournaments. Kibler has kind of stumbled a bit in Hearthstone tournaments, at least. But I feel like he's a little bit of the weak link, and his Shaman was probably the weak link. But he just won with that, so I feel like that's an enormous thing. I mean, his other deck is Hunter. I'm sure he'll pull up a win with that if he has to. Kibler's a fine player. I'm actually not too sure why his tournament success has been pretty mediocre in the past. But yeah, there's nothing to really worry about from this point on in the Valley Town side of things. Yeah,
I mean, people might feel like Crib's firing shots at Kibler, but the truth is Kibler even self admits this. He says that his strength is in deck building and drafting and creating cool stuff. And his weak side is his technical execution of plays, which often compromises his own series because he ends up losing games he doesn't feel like he should based off of some of the choices he makes. And he writes them in pretty in-depth on his own website of some of the recaps of his series that he's played so far, whether it's the most recent challenge stones or even some of the tournaments that he's competed online. I'm pretty sure he's going to write something up for this week on the Archon team. It seems like right up his alley. The question becomes, do they send Kibler out again, or do they just go ahead and blind pick and roll a die?
Yeah, it's the blind pick. I actually learned about the blind pick from StrifeCro. He's the one who told me. It's like, so what you do in Conquest is you just forget about preparing and you just roll die. So there you go.
And then, you just win.
The best in the game, just leave it up to chance.
Well, according to the Conquest format, that's what they want. Because in the end, there's like a couple ways to go about it. Some people might be confused and thinking like, are you just saying it's all RNG? And it's saying that some players feel like it's best to go about Conquest by picking randomly, because if you pick according to Nash equilibrium, which is like the best optimal solution every single time, you become predictable, and then they can pick on you, and then all of a sudden you actually get a disadvantage for not picking randomly.
Yeah.
So this is where like there's two trains of thought. Supposedly.
Okay. Who do you expect might struggle from Cloud9's side?
I would expect Ecop to.
I think Ecop's playing just solid decks though. He's got like Hunter and Warlock. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty. He's got it. It's fine.
So dog has a dog in his art.
These have to be like some of the worst ones.
StrifeCro has a bamboo stick.
I feel like I'm looking at like a Mr. Pandaria logo right now.
Yeah. Also, I don't know how much that looks like dog.
Well, there's a dog there, so I mean.
Well, I meant the actual humanization.
Like they even stuck like a fat dog whistle in his mouth.
Is that like the dog that dog brings with him, or is it like he transforms into that dog?
Oh, like Beast Wars type of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
Like Animorphs.
Yeah. No, it's Beast Wars. I was like a total nerd on that shit when I was a kid. It's like Transformers who transform into animals.
You didn't watch Animorphs either, or read the books?
No, I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's probably in America then.
Yeah.
I don't. It's basically the same thing. It was like a team of young kids who ended up becoming superheroes by transforming into stuff, like animals primarily and stuff. They had like specialties or whatever. It's equally nerdy to Beast Wars. Don't look down at me, Crip. I see the way you're looking at me right now.
I'm just googling it, and it seems significantly worse than.
No, it's just the same. Just like it is playing card games over the internet for $250,000. It's all the same. Don't judge me. God.
Some say you shouldn't play mind games. Tell that to the Yerks.
That's an Animorphs joke. I get it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Dog is going to be bringing the mage here, and StrifeCro bringing Paladin. StrifeCro and Dog are both players who can play anything. And I'm kind of leaning towards StrifeCro to bring more of the mid-range Paladin, and I would peg Dog on a tempo mage. That's my guess. I mean, I could.
Yeah, I feel like StrifeCro and Dog again can both play anything, but I think StrifeCro generally doesn't. StrifeCro generally plays the type of decks that Life Coach likes as well, like the slowy, control-y ones.
Well, he'd prefer to, but he also is not opposed to playing aggro. I also want to open up that Dog might play Freeze Mage too, because I think Freeze Mage is still really good in this type of format too, because it's really strong against a variety of decks, and there's very few super hard counters.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out to be Freeze Mage. There it is.
You're right. Freeze
First time
Mage.
for everything, Crip.
Is that a Paladin? Yeah, it's a Paladin. Kind of looked like a mage for a second. My bad. Golden Mage versus Golden Paladin, of course. Dog versus StrifeCro. If StrifeCro is playing like a control-y Paladin, it used to be the counter to Freeze Mage, but I feel these days it's just not happening anymore with Emperor Tharson. I feel like this is just Freeze Mage, like 100%. Unless it's like Ebola Din, and then he has like some chance.
Right. One thing to note too is that the StrifeCro's like Paladin deck, whenever he plays it on stream, he ends up changing it a lot from time to time. So I'm not sure exactly what some of the tech is.
Whoa, shielded minibots everywhere.
Three shielded minibots. A regular arena Paladin deck, which has like the craziest amount of shielded minibots you'll ever see.
Yeah, shielded minibot is pretty damn strong card in arena, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that's where people like first saw that combo with the kings. Like you play a shield minibot, then you play another one.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a creature you want to ignore, but in arena you can't because of the threat of kings. And if you do ignore it, you just lose the game.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You're like facing 2 shielded minibots, and the best play is to suicide. You're like 3/2 creatures into them.
I had one guy one time play 4 shielded minibots against me in the first 4 turns of the game.
Wow.
It was like coin minibot into like 3-drop, and I remember into minibot.
Maybe there were 3. Look at that. That's 2 down.
Wait, what? I don't even know. I wasn't really following. Either way, Dog's under some light pressure here. It's not super heavy yet, but it's to the point where he has to make sure not to take too much repetitive damage.
Yeah. Oh, a block's nice. It's an early enough turn where it's forgiving to just develop a secret. Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, he'd rather get the scientist, because now the scientists
are dead. That is a pretty crappy hand.
Well, it's not like the Paladin has something to do on turns 3 here, really, other than Big Game Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, you're still probably going to win, because Freeze Mage is such a dominant,
I've got the beast in my
dominant matchup here.
Well, I wouldn't put all the eggs in the Freeze Mage basket just yet. I mean, there is cards like Lay on Hands, and that can help you keep alive if Freeze Mage continues to draw poorly.
Yeah, you have to just draw really poorly with Freeze Mage. I mean, we're kind of seeing that already, but we also see like a lot of card draw, and the card draw kind of changes that around.
I wonder.
Like the Mage is not doing well right now, obviously. But
yeah,
I feel like still doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, it's easy to turn around for them because they have so much time, generally speaking. Unless Paladin can grab really big tempo, but I mean, he's starting to make some pretty big plays. Defender of Argus is really nice.
Yeah,
and then Sludge Belcher is pretty cool. That's not a good card. Zombie Chow is very ineffective against Freeze Mage. He not only can stall it out onto the board and never deals damage,
never play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here a Nova stops 8 damage, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I think the Nova is basically comparable to the Ice Barrier. So I think. But the thing about the Nova, too, is that it's really good against Paladin as time goes on, whether to just set up for Doomsayer or even just keep it for late game plays like Antonitis. Everything is about gaining 8 life that turn.
The Owl is really powerful here. It just kind of locks out the Doomsayer option. That's really good. I actually feel with the Owl, StrifeCro might win this game.
It's not only just a Doomsayer, but to also unlock a freeze minion if you need to pop for Ice Block.
Yeah.
There was a chance. Okay, if the Sludge Belcher wasn't in the hand, we almost were about to see the Tempo Quartermaster with no Silverhand Recruit synergy.
Yeah, probably.
I've always dreamed about that day, whether we'd see it, because so many Paladins are just willing to hold on to it, but that would have been pretty funny. Alright, well now time to Chain Freeze. This is way too much damage onto the board. You can use Frost Nova to develop something else, or you can use Blizzard now because it's more expensive.
Yeah, this is actually tougher than it seems. It might seem like obvious to Blizzard because you're more flexible with cards later, but not quite so. Like, you might want to do more things this turn.
Huh. Attacking into the Sludge Belcher. So you can set up for Blizzard next turn, or even Flame Strike, or even just communicate ideas to StrifeCro. But why do you think he needs to attack now versus later? True Silver Champion?
Yeah, I guess that's an option.
Oh, he got a second Quartermaster. No, he's not going to do it. All right, fine.
Yes, it sounds the Belcher, doesn't he? Oh no, it's just gonna sound.
Yeah,
oh, I see. Just to deny the draw.
Just didn't. I didn't give him 1 card. Give him 0 cards.
Yeah.
Well, Dog picks up Fireball, and normally you want to use Fireball to stall for stuff, but there's so many like low health minions that are not above 3 that Fireball feels really inefficient anyway. So that's going to be sitting on hold. The annoying thing about Blizzard 2 is you don't even freeze every minion on board. The 1/2 slime that comes out from that Sludge Belcher is going to be alive after this.
I think like an Ice Knife return or a Frost Knife return is pretty good still, but now that you saw an Owl, you really want to combo that with a Doomsayer. Like, even Paladins, like sometimes they run double Owl, but I don't think it's that likely. And even if they do, he needs the other one.
It does end up backfiring if you play Frost Nova and your opponent drops the Loatheb, and then you can't play Blizzard, and like you're basically threatened to die because it takes your entire turn to Ice Block.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Dude, Quartermaster.
Seems like the play.
To arms, men.
Still a little susceptible to things like Flame Strike, but generally speaking, he just puts on as much pressure as he can every turn. That's the onus of the game here.
Mm-hmm.
If he pings a 3/1, there's only going to be 8 damage on board, so the Ice Barrier cancels out. This is an opportunity to develop Ice Block instead.
Yeah, and well, StrifeCro doesn't have very many good plays either. I think his best play is to Dude again and Quartermaster again.
Yeah, Quartermaster and make a 5/5.
There you go. It's alright, I suppose. It kind of escapes the Flame Strike. Dog is gonna probably dig for a Doomsayer here, and if he gets it, he should win this game decisively.
Yeah, I mean, hypothetically, yes. But at the same time, now he also needs to figure out how to get things like his opponents, like he needs to get Alex Strauss or more burn, because he still doesn't have a way to necessarily win. He just has cards that help him draw, or cards that do a little bit of damage, or second Ice Block. He needs something decisive, like one of those power swing cards.
What to do?
Mm-hmm. Does he actually have more secrets in his deck? Because some people who put in anti-Keelbot actually drop the 1 Ice Barrier.
It's a good question. We'll find out. Maybe if Dog loses this game, we'd see more of the Freeze Mage.
I feel like you have to dig for a Doomsayer, because if you don't get it this turn, you kind of have to freeze this turn. Oh man, he might be thinking that he can stay alive. So if he can stay alive, it might be better to perhaps dig next turn and just play Mad Scientist, Acolyte of Pain Ping here.
There's no way though, because there's 15 damage just on board existing, so it's way too easy for Paladin to, like, I know people like mock Paladin for not being able to burst, but 2 damage is very easy for them to generate.
Yeah. Well, all right. It's just you burn through 3 freeze effects. The most you could possibly have is like a Cone of Cold and another Blizzard.
Let me
Consecration here, I guess. So I don't know what the benefit too much of Consecration. I guess you use your mana, so you're not floating in. You do damage, and the Mad Scientist can't pick off like an easy trade with Flame Strike, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
Would you hero power, or does it not matter? Like, say if your opponent
Move quickly.
didn't do anything, you want to keep your board. Like, you keep a spot open by not hero powering here.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's one of the worst draws that Dog could have gotten. And by the way, he does have that 4th secret there.
So
oh
wait,
my God.
so wait. That was the 4th secret, but the Acolyte triggered first.
Yeah, so what happened was...
the damage triggers before the death rattle.
Yeah, he drew the Ice Barrier off of the Acolyte of Pain, and then the Mad Scientist died, so he didn't pull it. And then he drew the second Mad Scientist.
That is pretty horrifying.
That was literally the worst sequence of draws that could have happened in that order.
Yeah.
Okay, well, not to be too much, a mist here. Dog, he's realizing that he doesn't have anything to actually stay too much alive here. If he just plays Ice Barrier, that's his best chance. I think Ice Barrier, Loot Hoarder, and Ping something might be his best chance. Or maybe even play
Ice Lance because you need it for the burst. Actually, yeah, that's true. Fireball is worth less than Ice Lance because you'll get a refund on your Ice Lance through Antonidas.
That's true. Oh, Tyrion comes into the hand. That's also a really problematic card, too. He's so big.
Well, how much damage is that on board? Well, the Ice Barrier is up, I guess, so it doesn't make any difference. There's 2 secrets. We can only see one right now. The other one's kind of a bit out of the picture. But yeah, with both secrets up, you know what the other one is. You know you're not pushing for a pop here.
Yeah, it looks like there's 10 damage. His opponent would go down to 11. Tyrion's still on the board, though, so even if his opponent cleared it, there's a weapon that comes down the other side. This is looking tough for Dog. He didn't get his win conditions fast enough.
Yeah.
Still no Alex Straza. It would have been okay. I think it would have been okay, actually, if he drew Alex Straza maybe this next turn, or this turn. Because he would have had a chance to, like, play Alex Straza, force the ice block, play second ice block, and Antonidas gather more damage, and maybe get double Fireball, Frostbolt finish, or something like that. But in this case, it's just...
I think you Antonidas and Ice Lance Tyrion. Yeah.
Yeah, force your opponent to choose between either clearing Antonidas or to pop the ice block. But in this scenario with the True Silver Champion draw, that should be enough both ways, right? Oh no, he's one damage off. That's too bad.
I wonder.
Or is there things that you can do with Knife Juggler?
No.
Yeah, he'd be a little bit off.
Like he's going for Antonidas.
Put this apple on your head. That belongs.
It's more appropriate too, because Antonidas is the big threat. It's one of the main win conditions of the Mage deck in general.
He needs this. Nope, doesn't get it.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. But at least he's still got a pretty strong board, and it's still resilient to Flame Strike because of Tyrion.
Oh man, Fireball, Pyroblast. Man, Freeze Mage losing the Paladin.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's happened sometimes. I've seen Freeze Mage lose to Priest. I've seen Freeze Mage lose to just ridiculous stuff that's supposed to beat pretty easily.
I don't even know what you can do here.
Let's see. You've used 2 fireballs already, so like you have to think if you can Pyroblast and get away with it with like burning your opponent down. But if you can't get away with Pyroblast, then you have to play things like Loot Hoarder to draw into things that can help you. But you already used both of your Frost Nova, so you can't stall out.
Okay, no, you have to Loot Hoarder and double Fireball face, and hope your next 2 draws are Frostbolt and Ice Lance. Right? So Fireball, 12.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Frostbolt, Ice Lance is going to be 7. Pyroblast. Oh no, that's 1 short. Never mind. Nope. I guess that was the better play because my play doesn't lead to a win, it leads to a certain loss.
All right, well, now he's going to put him down to 1 and then essentially pass the turn here. StrifeCro's also got a lot of heal, so even his opponent had Alex Straza and managed to squeeze out like a really cheap secretive ice block. It doesn't seem possible here. Ice block allows you to double fireball, play Mad Scientist ping. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
I really don't foresee a way for Dog to get out of this.
If he kills Tyrion with a fireball, he can stay alive next turn by freezing face and flame strike.
Yeah. Maybe he can also stay alive if... No,
Oh
there's
my
no
God.
way.
Another heal
No,
spot.
there's just no freaking way. Healbot, juice over champion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important to attack first before playing anything because you actually can't use a True Silver charge on an ice blocked or an immune character.
Mm-hmm.
Can't even, it doesn't let you gain the life.
I don't think there's any way to survive anyways. Even if he drew Alex Straza, he can't heal himself and then really pop it. And that's going to wrap it up. Looks like Dog gave his best effort, but I just don't think it was in the cards at all. Like, because of the way everything drew. He drew his secrets before he drew his Mad Scientist. He drew his burn before his Alex Straza.
Yeah, there really wasn't anything he could do that game. Like, he could have done, you know, the reverse of a few plays. So, you know, he played like Blizzard instead of Frost Nova. He could have done Frost Nova and then Blizzard something, but that wouldn't have made any difference. He had no outs there, and StrifeCro had at least like a 15 to 20 life buffer on top of what he won with.
Yeah, for sure.
That was really hard for the Freeze Mage. Usually not the case. Usually what happens is the Paladin just gets too slow of a start, and the Mage just draws too many cards, gets an Emperor Tharson, and healing doesn't help because you die from 30. So
yeah, and even if you know, you don't die from 30, it's the fact that sometimes you're just too slow. You have like one threat at a time. Freeze Mage destroys your board. That's another thing to point out too. Dog had a lot of freezes, and he didn't even pick up his Doomsayer.
he never drew one.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kind of funny, actually. How does that even happen? Like, how many cards could he have had left? Like 6? 8?
It was definitely like mid-single digits. I remember that. Either way, you can just look past it and just move on. The Paladin deck is out of the way. So the Paladin and the Shaman, the unusual of the bunch, they're clear. Yeah. Now I feel like it's a good time, if you know that your opponent's bringing Freeze Mage, to start. Like, the important thing now is that Freeze Mage didn't get the first win. So now that you know it's Freeze Mage, I think Cloud9 really should take advantage of that and try to corner it as best as it can with like really good matchups. If it has, you know, like Patron Warrior is still pretty strong against that.
Wait, that's Trump?
Is it Trump? Trump's looking good, man.
I think that looks closer to
out.
you, actually.
Oh, is it?
I think
my glasses
so.
aren't that thin. And also my hair is not that color.
Okay.
It's not like that.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah. So it's not me at all.
Okay. All right, well, Trump versus Kento. This is going to be an interesting one. Kento with the Warrior. Trump. He's played like all versions of Warlock. I actually don't really know how to pin him on one here.
It's definitely Trump because he does that finger pointing
Hemlock
on his chin a lot.
Okay.
He does that all the time. Yeah. Yeah, he knows. We got Handlock coming in here. Like you said, it's got the Molten Giant. It's also got Jiraxis, which is a card that I don't know how often people are putting Jiraxis in. It feels like it got rotated out. Just because, again, Jiraxis is great against the control decks, but if the meta's fast, you don't really benefit off of Jiraxis because it dies to the burst, or it dies to the, you know, the fact that it's too slow. And also because Patron Warrior started getting really popular, so Harrison Jones started appearing everywhere. Not that it matters too much, but it's another added, you know, bonus against Jiraxis.
Yeah. All right. Well, Kento opened up the series for his team and failed to get a win against Kibler's Shaman, and he's trying again against Trump's Warlock.
Yeah, but this is bad for Kento. Handlock is one of the best matchups against Patron Warrior because you have big minions. They can't get past it. You have a lot of AoEs to clear minions, and you know it's just like it feels like a huge eternity to get over those huge walls.
Yeah.
But that said, Trump's hand's not looking okay.
It's looking good now.
It's looking all right. Before it was looking, you know, a little weird and awkward.
A little shaky.
It's like all the situational cards, really.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have seen this Grim Patron deck win just about against anything. Whenever you bring out that charging like 20 attack frothing and his other 20 attack frothing friend, just sends like any deck packing.
It's the key to win this matchup. Grim Patron is relatively ineffective against the handlock because the 3 health is so accessible to kill. Dark Bomb kills it single target. Hellfire clears it on the entire board. You know, Fiery War Axe can kill off anything too. So it's just like Fiery War Axe is not even that effective because it's only 3 damage as well. So it's like a bunch of stuff that doesn't really have high impact here. The key to this matchup too is also drawing, and I think one thing to consider outside of Kento not really using the StrifeCro here for tempo is the fact that he's also not. Like he also armored up too, and he hesitated the previous turn because you really need to draw cards against handlock. It's like the key for you to unlock this matchup more so than any other things because you need to get to the combos pieces.
What could he have really done to draw though? Like Inner Rage and Battle Rage?
No, I mean like whether or not he armors up. You just like play something and then just
be able to take more damage.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he'll have quite that problem this game.
Not anymore.
That 8 attack is gonna hit him right in the face. Also, what's up with these guys not playing any of the new hero skins? I want to see me some Magna, you know? Is it against the rules?
Yeah, that's right.
No
Dog was playing Jaina, right? He didn't bring Medivh out.
No?
Yeah. What's up with that, man? Scrubbing it up. We need to see some of those alternate portraits.
Yeah, those didn't have much success. I found out later through Reddit that like nobody bought them. I thought they were cool. I thought, whatever.
There's the huge amount of casual people that probably bought it.
On Reddit, like 90% of people didn't get it.
How many millions of dollars do you think Blizzard made off of those skins? I'm willing to bet that it's at least
one.
At least one.
I think it's maybe one. Maybe.
$1 million is a lot of money, last time I checked. Maybe not enough for Blizzard, who knows?
Yeah.
Either way, I agree. I think we definitely need to see some hero portraits here.
Yeah, we do.
Also, I love their emotes, man. They're so much more genuine. When Magni apologizes, I believe him. Even though it's totally disingenuine.
I'm so sorry, friend.
I'm so sorry, friend.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
All right.
I feel better.
I think Magna is the coolest one, by far.
Yeah, the Hunter, Illyria, or whatever.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't that cool. And especially, I get so annoyed when the ropes comes up. She's like, "Move now!" I'm like, "Where am I? A Starbucks?" It's like this is so crazy. It's so bad. All right. By the way, there's a game going on. You didn't forget about that. There's a lot of plays here for Trump to build the board, but it just seems like this has been a really one-sided game because Kento's not been able to draw a lot. He will be able to now to draw a few cards. I guess you just cash in the loot order first.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the hand, there's really nothing that would affect that play, so that play is just happening. Let's see if we can get a better option than what we already have. Nope.
Okay. I guess you don't feel too bad necessarily whirlwind cycling here, just because it does end up paying for itself with an extra card.
Yeah.
It still doesn't feel great. It's an enabler for execute as well if you pick it up in the next 2 draws.
What if you just do Grim Patron, Whirlwind?
How good is that? I'm not sure. Sounds like material for your next YouTube video.
No. I'm not so sure either. I'm just like looking up the possibilities here.
Yeah.
And it's pretty slim. Kento really needed an execute there.
Yeah, I mean, because now he can't. Oh wow, this is super anti-patron at this point.
This whole like taking 9 damage a turn strategy is not working out so well for Garrosh.
Yeah, it seems to be the hard counter.
Yeah.
I guess you're okay with just playing a second Mountain Giant here. Thorson's also appropriate because it's a big threat and it reduces the cost, but just set up for lethal, guaranteed. And that should do it. There's really nothing you can do. There's no cards you can additionally draw. Gromosh can't even trade for a minion to stay alive on board.
Yeah, that's it. No, you're absolutely right. There's nothing there.
Kalento's Patron Warrior. And Patron Warrior in general today has been struggling, Grip.
Yeah, it really has. It kind of tanked it for Archon, in fact.
Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't the result of play or anything like that. It just happened to not win against what other people are playing. And I mean, if you like, the Patron Warrior is the deck that built the meta right now. So most of the decks that aren't Patron Warrior are like okay versus it.
Yeah.
And if okay means typically I'll win like half the time or 45% of the time. And, well, that's still basically a coin flip, and sometimes you lose a lot of them in a row.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate truth here, that the Patron is not a bad deck at all, even though the win rate's been really low. Life Coach did end up taking his win, though, very easily.
Yeah.
But that was one of those scenarios where he was up against a deck that just kind of lined up really well against his. And now we see that Trump got his first win, too. So Team Value Town striking game number 3 off the books here. And we're going to see if Kento can grab his first win soon, because he's losing those matches. He's losing those Ghost or Gamer ranking points. He was pretty high up there. Doesn't want to drop any more.
I'm just not sure how they're going to like coordinate these matches into their
maybe the
rankings.
1 games, like 0-1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's tough.
Yeah, probably like that. You're basically playing best of 1s, but you overall score in the best of 11. Meanwhile, ECOP has yet to make his first appearance, with Trump making his. That's officially every member from Value Town. So either ECOP is hiding in the shadows, watching intently, or he's late.
Oh, I think he's just like the cleanup squad. You know, Kento and StrifeCro are just going to blow it, and then ECOP's going to, start the comeback train.
Oh, gotcha. So StrifeCro and Kento puts it for 5 games for Team Value Town, and then ECOP has to bring it back with Hunter and Warlock.
Well, he has to start. Like, Kento and StrifeCro still have to win. It's Conquest.
The question I have, Crip, is that I haven't seen the art yet, but how big will they make ECOP's eyes in the art for the player intro? Because that's kind of what I feel like we would icon. Yeah, make the icon for him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wasn't waking up prepared for this morning to see that.
All right, well, Kento is trying again. The bench rule will follow if Kento drops this. He will not be able to play in the next match. And that does give the other team some added information. They might play a deck that's specifically not supposed to do well against Grim Patron Warrior. I don't know what that would be, but I'm sure there's one of them in there. As far as the match coming up, we have Rogue, which is probably Oil Rogue, which is probably the exact Oil Rogue that we saw in the other set of games with Archon versus Nihilum, up against what we know is a Freeze Mage. And I think Freeze Mage is pretty decent in this matchup.
I always think so, and then Rogue sometimes surprises me, especially if you have something that can do a lot of repetitive damage that's really powerful. And I'm not even looking at minions, but I'm looking at cards like Assassin's Blade, because you can only freeze the face so many times. And if you tack on a deadly poison, that's 20 damage on a weapon. You know, it's like it's just way too much to try and stop over and over. So
the dog has that extra defense.
I want to say yes.
He does. He kept the double ice barrier with the anti-kill bot. I think it actually takes a board to kill that freeze mage deck. I think it's kind of tech around that a little bit. Just now.
Ah, okay.
But we remember from the previous game, it was the double barrier and the heal bot.
Right.
So it's more defenses than normal from the freeze mage.
Mm-hmm. It is. All right, so looks like we have Kento versus Dog coming up here. The rogue is on the coin, a very nice thing indeed. And Kento knows that it's freeze mage too. I mean, it's a little bit easy to extrapolate. I think freeze mage would be the most popular type of mage, to be honest. But even so, it's important that you get that information and get it out of the way.
Those Violet teachers are pretty nice, by the way. And the prep. Oh, man.
Well, I mean, prep's great until he picks up a spell. Right now he has prep into nothing.
Yeah, there's a lot of spells in this deck.
Well, he's got all the minions, practically speaking, there. Even the Salsi can be really useful, because if your board's frozen, it might be important to keep Salsi if you have an oil and just want to get the burst out there.
Let the pain speak to me.
Okay.
Well, he can kill that, but...
Oh, man, that's really nice.
Is it? I think you wanted a cheap spell.
Probably, but I think what really starts putting a lot of pressure is just like the right options and start curving out. So if you just like coin 4-drop and then go into
options.
Alright, looks like we lost Froden. As far as this turn, though, it's a pretty interesting one. Kento's probably deciding whether he wants to play the SI or coin out a 4-drop. And if he coins out a 4-drop, I'd be surprised if it's the Shredder. Yeah, it is a Violet teacher.
Pay attention, class.
With this play, you can prep sprint next turn.
I'll show them all.
I don't know if you do that, though. Now with Eviscerate, you can play so many 1/1s. I feel like Eviscerate's kind of one of those cards that you generally want to save for some kind of burst, but you get so much value with 2 Violet teachers on board that it might just not really matter. And you'd also want to limit the options if you do end up killing this mad scientist. You probably want to make any face attacks first. But I don't know if you would do that either. I think I'm digging the Eviscerate play. Vile Teacher into Acolyte, play the other Vile Teacher, prep Eviscerate the mad scientist. Okay.
This guy's toast.
Oh, this is nice. Gets the barrier. Losing the 2-1 charge is a little surprising to me, but I guess with the other Vile Teacher and prep and all the rest, it's going to be pretty easy to fill the board. So I guess this is the exception to that.
I wonder.
On Dog's side of the board, what do we have? Can't really kill that Vile Teacher. It's nice to slow the damage. So the ice barrier isn't too bad. But you also kind of want to draw some more cards. You need more than what you have. And with Emperor probably coming down next turn, it might be worth playing the Arcane Intellect. So Arcane Intellect Frostbolt seems very strong here.
What to do? What to do?
Very nice. Oh. Okay. I'm not sure what that's supposed to threaten, though.
I'm ready to learn.
Like turn 6 to deal 4 damage on the board.
I'm ready to learn.
What's that supposed to be? I mean, he has a blizzard, but what does it accomplish? Maybe even better to ping the 3/3 and not have to commit to ping the turn after blizzard. Well, Kento draws a bunch of cards, which is traditionally the play if well, if your opponent's signaling that he wants to clear your board, which with that ping he was. Wow. That is a 9-card Emperor Tharson. Battle cry for 9 mana. In a deck that's really only limited by mana. So that is pretty bad. Well, if you're Kento here, I think it's time to bring out that Eviscerate and other Violet Teacher. You'll go to 6 creatures.
I wonder.
Which seems fair. You could always Thalnos and Eviscerate. It's a similar situation. Looks like he likes that a little bit better. You do get to weapon up as well. I think the idea behind this play is being able to weapon up lets you push for a lot more damage next turn with the deadly poison and the oil. It's a bit more flexible in that sense. Kento kind of forced to play the Blizzard here. It's probably made Blizzard mad scientist.
Yo, Crip. Can you hear me?
Welcome back.
I'll show them all.
Sorry. Didn't mean to leave you out there. Just Wi-Fi ended up dropping there. Anyways, what did I miss?
You missed some interesting plays from Kento, kind of holding back on that second Violet Teacher. I mean, remember, he started the game with 2 Violet Teachers. He still hasn't played that second one. In the meantime, he's sprinted. Dog made some kind of weird ping play, trying to signal that he had a Flame Strike, but he was only on 5 mana, so it was kind of weird. But Kento still played around a board clear, didn't play the Violet Teacher, played some dinky 1/1s.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Sick.
kind of like weird back and forth play a little bit.
I am ready to learn.
Well, looks like the Freeze Mage is still in a pretty comfortable health total. And he does have another Frost Nova, so no matter how bad the board gets, he at least gets 1 more turn to stall. And it looks like the Emperor Thoris ended up getting off, which means next turn he could drop Antonidas and Frost Nova. And
Yeah, Antonidas Frost Nova is definitely really strong, but I don't know how he sees it. Because it's not really enough to close out the game.
yeah, it is another priority too to also set up. Yeah, that's true. It's not reliable to, with so many cards in a rogue, to depend on Doomsayer to even activate as well. So it's not even like you can set up and try to go for a board clear here.
Yeah, but if you do the Antonidas, like...
I think I'd be okay with with the Antonidas and the Frost Nova here.
I think so too. Just because I don't think the Doomsayer is going to work, like you mentioned.
Time runs out on me.
Both players taking
All right,
every
well,
moment
looks like
of
he's
their
got to
turn.
make a decision soon.
Goes a heal bot and Ice Barrier. Okay. So he wants just a little bit more mana. This play is going to let him Antonidas, Nova, and then Frostbolt, Ice Lance face for 3 more fireballs. Well, whenever you're seeing a 3 health creature, your first instinct is to play spell damage and backstab, but what does that really get you? I feel like it doesn't get you enough.
So many options.
Alright, well, the re-weapon indicates that he's going to do a big weapon upturn here.
I am ready to
Choose two.
I am ready to learn. I am ready to learn.
All right, sorry, Crip. I'm trying my best to hang in there, buddy.
That's alright. It looks like you made some pretty risky plays here.
Yeah. I like it, though. I mean,
feel like I'm
honestly,
lagging a little bit, too.
Well, I like getting the damage in with the weapon because you can always threaten Blade Flurry to just, like, whatever he does, Doomsday or Antonitis, and it's also massive damage.
Job's done.
Alright, well, he
Talk
does
about
go for
massive
the
damage.
play.
You got Antonitis here. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
he ended up...
He's got so many fireballs.
I mentioned how saving it 1 turn lets him get 2 extra fireballs, total of 3 extra. And it's unlikely that he'll die, as you froze the rogue and the board. But as it stands, Kento can deal with Antonius with a sap, but can he win the game? Because Dog can just chain ice blocks and fireballs. It seems like Kalento's only chance is really to try to get a Loatheb out. So how do you do that? I guess you don't, because
well,
if you Loatheb next turn, you still lose. You have to Loatheb this turn. Right?
Yeah, because he would still do the fireball damage, and then he would do fireball for 9 mana.
The heal might work. Oh, heal and Loatheb! Wow, he actually needed exactly those 2 cards.
Too perfect. Yeah, so the Blade Flurry clears the Antonitis, does 8 damage, and well, hold on, the fireball doesn't matter if he's like pinging in between 2.
No,
and he's got the Thanos.
Yeah, he's still dead, I believe, just because he's got an ice block up, and he's going to be able to ice block in between these turns. And
That's true.
I think that's enough. Yeah. 4 health.
The key is whether or not he could have gotten the Loatheb in and his opponent didn't have the second ice block, but this Freeze Mage should be able to lock it from here.
No, actually, no, the funny thing is you can't play both of them. There's not enough space on the board.
Oh, you're right. You have to
just
kill off,
that
you have to kill
Violet
off your
teacher
1/1.
liability.
Violet Teacher's so great, except for scenarios just like that, you know? Alright, well, I guess this game is going to wrap up then.
He should the other fire. It wasn't enough.
Yeah. It was definitely not enough by a pretty big considerable margin. The rogue just can't heal, you know?
Nope. Gotta eviscerate his own stuff. There you go. Alright. And he's alive for like 1 turn, but not really because of the discounted Loatheb to Fireball. 6 damage for 8 mana to anything you want. Sounds like a Shaman card to me.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable, I think.
Yeah, it's alright.
But for now, it looks like Dog's going to end up getting a very important win here with the Freeze Mage, because again, the longer this Freeze Mage ends up going, the easier he comes to corner it with really powerful decks and good
Kento
matchups.
is the first player. He's the first player to officially be benched. How about that? Kento cannot play in this next match. He's just lost 2 in a row after losing the opener.
Bench Lento.
Bench Lento.
I don't know. It doesn't really quite roll off the tongue.
No. But he's Ukrainian, so it's fine, right? Yeah, we get like a buy on this one.
Yeah. Well, that means we are forced to go the StrifeCro or ECOP here, and there's only Warrior, Rogue, and Hunter remaining for Team Value Town. They're in a dominant spot. Being up 2 games gives them a lot of breathing room if they feel like a deck's a little bit weaker against a certain field of lineups.
Also, because Kalento's benched with 2 remaining decks, you know you'll be facing Mage, Warlock, or Hunter. Does that really give you any advantage, though, to know that information? Like, what does I think ECOP normally plays more aggressive decks in tournaments. He's a good handlock player, absolutely, but I don't know whether to put him on handlock or Zoo. I'd probably lean more towards Zoo or like a demon lock.
Yeah, I'd be okay with queuing up Hunter here. If StrifeCro's bringing Freeze Mage himself, then Hunter would actually be a pretty okay pick against everything here. If it's Tempo Mage, then maybe the Rogue's okay to just go against anything too. Not really sure. I'm not really sure. It's really tough to say because we don't know what the Mage is from StrifeCro's end.
Yeah. Or the Warlock. And those are 2 decks that go, like, completely polarized.
It's true. The Warlock could be anything.
Well, I think it's time for a dice roll in true Conquest fashion. 1 to 3. You think it's going to land on a 3? You think it's Kibler time? Perhaps.
Maybe. Well, I hope
dog again.
Come out with the Hunter here.
Well, ECOP does get the big eyes. He also like
ECOP with the googly eyes.
It's not even the googly eyes that get me. It's like all the weird ones. They have like this weird like half smile. Like, what is that?
Right.
You know?
I don't know. That's a smirk. Yeah.
It's not really a smirk.
Definitely called this one from a mile away, though.
Okay. Rogue versus Warlock.
Rogue versus Warlock. This is pretty good for Dog either way. I think the Zoo doesn't match up exactly the greatest against the Rogue. A little bit better nowadays because it's really difficult to deal with huge power tempo plays. But Handlock, I know a lot of people players really don't like Handlock versus Rogue, but I feel like for Rogue players who are specialized and understand the matchup, it's not as bad as people think it is.
Yeah, I think the Warlock's still probably favored if it's a Handlock, though. Okay. Well, this is the opening game from ECOP.
I definitely would still lean towards that.
Whoa,
well, it doesn't have the
game.
coin.
Big game in Rogue, boys. I haven't seen what type of Warlock that was. There was like a glimpse, but I didn't really see.
So he's maybe anticipating him. I can't see either right now.
Okay. Oh, it's Zoo. Okay, doesn't matter. Oh, it's Zoo with Void Caller. I think this deck is pretty fine against Rogue. It applies the pressure, and a lot of cards make it hard to really clear the board with the Blade Flurry, which is why traditionally the Zoo matchup was bad for the Warlock player.
Put this apple on your head.
Okay. Well, the Knife Juggler behind the Void Walker is pretty strong. It's kind of hard to get to if there's no backstab. Deadly Poison. He does have the Blade Flurry option, but there's no way he's taking it. Flame Imp. Well, it's a good enough time to get out that Void Caller if you want. You could drop the Egg and the Flame Imp, but how strong would that be? Pretty decent against Blade Flurry. You'd save the coin, you'd have to play out the Flame Imp anyway. I think I like the Flame Imp more. The coin flexibility is nice. Alright. I think this works out a little bit better because had he just played the Void Caller, I think he would have just been met with a sap and then a dagger into the juggler. And now what do you do if you're the rogue? I guess you can sap and Blade Flurry, which sucks, but what else can you really do?
Options.
Yep, that's the play. You always hate to end the turn with no weapon, no board against the zoo player.
From the void I come.
Not many choices available, so making the best out of a worse situation. Making the best out of a bad situation. That is.
Me too, man. I'm trying. All right. Sorry about that, Crib. I'm really trying to figure out some of these internet issues. So it looks like the Rogue was able to stabilize the board early on with the big Blink Flurry. But, ECOP, I think, is still benefiting off of this really big tempo off the Void Caller.
I don't really consider a Blade Flurry and a Sap like a stabilize when you end the turn with nothing at all against the zoo player. You just like set yourself up to lose next turn. So, oh man, this can go so badly. Alright, well that's kind of bad.
Oh, I'm behind, man. It just looks like it pulled the Doom Guard there. Well, that's annoying. How do you deal with that?
The truth is, they're both like horrifying. Like if the Mal'Ganis is a little bit worse, because if it pulled the Mal'Ganis, then you would just Doom Guard. And it would be a 7/9 charge for 5 mana. Which is pretty good value, by the way. So
it's pretty insane for
all
sure.
Bad. All bad. Oh my god, on curve Dr. Boom.
Alright, well, Dog ends up passing it over. Oh, Dr. Boom off the top. Dropping it for 7 mana. Rogue does have the big game hunter, but still, it's the fact that Zoo's able to really command the board. And now, how do you deal with Mal'Ganis if you already used your BGH?
Wait, actually, if he did get Mal'Ganis, he did have the BGH. I missed that. That's so easy. Yeah. That is kind of bad. And now that you have to use BGH on Dr. Boom, Mal'Ganis will stick when he eventually hits the board.
I wonder.
I think I'm a fan of dropping Dr. Boom and killing off the Healbot. Because the 2 health Loatheb is not worth much. Yeah. I don't know if I like that too much, but alright. Well, here Dog is able to clear both Boombots and BGH.
So many.
Actually leaving him with total board control. For the first time this game. And I think that is the play. Okay, so he wants to do a Blade Flurry type of play instead.
Choose soon.
I definitely would not have made this play, but considering Mal'Ganis is still in hand on ECOP's side, it does seem to be the winning play. Well, it looks like the stream froze for me. I have no idea what happened. I think he... Oh. Rip. I think it was looking like he was doing the original big game play that I had expected to see. I'm sorry, not going over what's going on, guys. I just can't see it. But it did seem like he's doing the BGH play. That would leave ECOP with the web spinner, with the Mal'Ganis and Owl in hand that were both pretty useless. So really up to what he's about to draw.
I wonder.
Yeah, guys, give us a second. I can't see what's going on at all. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I see stuff. Wait, what? Okay. So it looks like he drew a Void Caller and a Flame Imp from the life tap. That would make sense. 7 mana tap for 1. Yep. And how did the BGH die? I'm not sure about that. Maybe it died to a Boombot. Perhaps. Oh yeah, because the backstab's still in hand. Seems like that was the case. Okay, well that puts ECOP in a pretty damn good position. Dog has some damage cards, but really far from enough.
I wonder.
As far as plays, ECOP's really just thinking it out because, you know, there's a lot on the line. It's team tournament. ECOP, his recent record has been okay. He's probably looking to impress. You got to make every play perfect. But really, this just seems like the Zulak plays out the hand and beats the crap out of the rogue player. Alright, the rogue at 10 life, the Blade Flurry is pretty real. He can actually clear Mal'Ganis as well with this Blade Flurry, Backstab, and SI7. But he's gonna trigger the egg. Oh man, this sucks. Like, you can kind of deal with all of this except Mal'Ganis. And here he comes. Oh, devastated. Yeah. So, you lose.
Sorry.
ECOP spamming the sorry. Yeah, you really can't do anything here. I think you survive with 1 HP just because there's only one spider that comes out. You have to backstab first, then Blade Flurry, then SI. If you Blade Flurry first, you lose for sure. Right now he hasn't lost for sure.
This guy's toast.
Oh, wow, I guess it didn't work that way. Oh. Okay. Well, now we know. I guess he's dead. Rip dog. Alright, well, Ecop takes his game. That's pretty good. Kind of closes up the series a little bit. It's a pretty decisive game, one for Ecop, but also for the team. Just because like being down one game is kind of fine in this pretty crazy best of 11. But if they were going to be down 3, that would have been huge. If Dog had won that game, it would have been 4 for Valley Town and 1 for Cloud9. That's almost an impossible situation to come back from. But luckily, here we are. Closed it up, and get to see what comes up next. All right, and we're back. So what do we have now? Kento can return as one of the other players has taken a win. He's no longer benched. The team now has access to twice as many decks, which is a pretty big deal for them. Valley Town's still up a game. Each player 1 win on the belt and another one to go. While Kento remains the only player to have yet won a game. In fact, he's the only player who has lost a game on Cloud9, but unfortunately for him, he's lost all 3. So that kind of sucks for him. But this series is still very close. Quite a few similar classes remain with Hunter, Rogue, and Warrior. StrifeCro is the extra point that he has to take with his unique mage deck that's still left in the match. Have we seen any of these? We've seen Kento's decks. We've seen the Patron Warrior, we've seen the Rogue, but we have not seen the mage or the Hunter of Cloud9. All the Rogue decks have been pretty typical. Rogue's been one of those classes that has come up in the ranks quite considerably in the last few weeks on ladder. People considered Oil Rogue kind of dead with Grim Patron Warrior dominance and all the meta influences that has had. But it's made quite a bit of a comeback, and to me it's not much of a surprise that we see that so much of this deck in this tournament already.
Hello, Crip.
Hello, Maz. How you doing?
Oh, I'm gonna sub in for Frodan for a bit while he fixes his Wi-Fi. So,
all right.
Yeah, so you won't be too alone, I guess.
Been so lonely, man. So lonely.
Yeah, chat was like feeling it for you, but looks like it's gonna be Trump's Warrior against Ekop's Hunter.
Yep. Trump's been practicing Patron Warrior a lot, so I kind of expect him to bring it to tournaments. While Control Warrior really doesn't need any practice, especially if you're a player like Trump, because you played like thousands of games of that.
Sure. I mean, it's always been the same, right?
Yeah, basically the same. But with the recent practice that he's had, I'd imagine there's some reason to that. He's probably expecting to play it in upcoming tournaments, maybe like this one.
Okay, well, we'll have to see what type of Hunter Ekop is playing. Looks like it's...
Grim Patron Boys.
Yep.
Versus Hybrid. So there's a little bit of, I guess, disagreement with this matchup. A lot of players think the Hunter's favored. A lot of players think the Warrior's favored. I kind of think it's about even. I think, if anything, the edge goes to the Hunter. What do you think?
I think the edge goes to the
opinion?
double high main. So, like, exactly, you want to start second, and you want to coin a high main to high main. Usually, Warriors can't really deal with that, right? But they do need something early on, like Animal Companion or even the bow to deal with the Acolyte.
Yeah, without that early pressure, you're really not doing much. Well, you wanted to see the high main. It looks like he's keeping one high main for that turn 5 high main drop, but he's not really digging the double high main, as that produces a lot of inconsistency. If you play nothing in the early game, the high mains really just catch you up on the board and often don't really mean that much.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you kind of want more early game stuff anyways, and just hope to draw the second high main when you play your first. So yeah, that's fine.
What's your take on the images, by the way? Did you approve them all?
Yes, I did approve them all.
Okay.
It was like go wild. Told my artist to go wild, and here are some references or memes that you can use. I sent him a list, and that came out. So, which do you like them? Which one's your favorite?
Oh no, we're putting you on the spot. What's
Oh,
what's
what?
what's the best and the worst? Let's hear it.
I thought Calypso's one was pretty awesome actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
there's no worse ones, right? Come on.
I think Trump's is the worst. It just doesn't really look like Trump.
What? Of course it looks like
I
Trump.
wasn't like people probably thought I was like pulling up a joke or something, but I wasn't. I'm like
Whoa,
that doesn't
whoa,
look like
whoa.
Trump.
Whoa, are you making like a racist joke or something
No,
right now?
totally not. Totally not.
That definitely looks like Trump to me.
Okay. All right. All right.
Okay. So here Trump's just gonna develop the acolyte, play off the mass sciences. I'm pretty sure that he's gonna assume that all traps are like freezing traps because of the Wisp Spinner.
Mm-hmm. Is that like that obvious to make already?
Well, kind of, right? I mean, even hybrid hunters just run freezing trap. They don't run any other. I guess you can tech in the snake trap, but there's so many patients running around that I don't think snake trap is that good an option right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Oh wow, actually gonna draw the extra card as well right away.
Oh man. You think these Grim Patron lessons Trump has had recently have paid off with that play or no?
Well, I mean, judging by his hand, I guess he needs more stuff to do a turn 4. Really trying to look for the Despite, but I think Trump is better than Patron than me.
Whoa!
I mean, I don't play Patron at all. Oh my
That's
god!
a Malorn.
Okay. Are we ever
Why is-
gonna see that in play though?
I don't know. It's hard to deal with.
It's kind of like
Really
a high
big.
main that doesn't have the Death Rattle, kind of, right?
I think the last time this happened to me, I killed it, and the hunter drew it like
Immediately.
two consecutive turns. I killed
Oh.
it twice,
Oh Jesus, that's not.
and then I lost to it on the third turn in a row it was played.
Oh man. Yeah. We might see some interesting stuff there. But hey, Trump with the Inner Rage actually found a Gnomish. So he actually has something to do, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thought behind this series of plays is that you only have like this much card draw, and you kind of need to extend that to draw into more card draw to continue getting your combo. Because he kind of started with nothing. So, I mean, I think he's been like pretty liberal with his Inner Rage use, but I think it's paid off, and I think that's the idea behind it.
Yeah, it paid off a little bit, but right now it's very tricky, right? You have a Hunter Trap up, and you don't really have a nice clear. Shredder just sticks on the board really, really well. So,
Yeah, but that trap's gonna be a pain in the ass no matter what for this deck.
So, do you just hope for like a Doomsayer turn or something right now?
No, I think you frothing and slam the Leok and then axe the Leok.
Okay. And just
Or
leave the
you-
Shredder up.
I guess you can axe the Shredder and maybe slam what comes out. That's a bit optimistic though.
Okay. So yeah, Trump agrees to your play.
Right.
Just gonna go ahead and do that.
Alright. Speaking of the portraits though, yeah, well I think Trump's is actually the worst. I don't think Kalento's is that bad. It's just kinda like weird for me. Like I don't really see Kalento as like the eccentric pirate type. Like
There's a
Gar
bigger
guy.
one, right?
Yeah, okay, but I guess I'm a little bit distanced from that. I don't really know what that's all about.
Twitch chat knows all about it, I think.
Okay. Well, if it works for them, that's perfect then. You know, gets the news, not bad, and the high main. Well, I guess it's game over then.
Right? High main rule. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the open board high main rule, right?
Yep. That's definitely gonna be quite troublesome for Trump. Still more minions. That's not what he wanted to see.
He has a few combo pieces though, so I think the Emperor is just fine here.
Yeah, it's fine, but I mean, time is ticking away. You're gonna eat 9 damage on the board next turn.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets a break from this turn. Wow.
I don't think so. Like that hand is like vicious right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Double 7 drops as well later on. So you just double quick shot this and just say develop the mad scientist, just go all in.
Face.
Yeah.
Well, you can do one quick shot mad scientist and get a hero power in.
That's true.
I won.
How do you like 2 quick shots in the hunter deck?
Yeah.
No, how do you like it? Like generally we only see 1 quick shot, right? You don't want to draw them both together. But then at the same time,
Nah, that's
if
fine.
in the it's fine, right? It's kind of like Dark Bomb in a sense. And
It's kind of like way better than Dark Bomb.
Oh yeah, strictly better, right? Sure.
Strictly better, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. I just don't really like Quickshot as a card. I was hoping that all hunters who played this game would be horribly miserable and lose every single game on ladder.
Oh,
Unfortunately, that didn't really play out.
That's quite bitter, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huck Funters, man.
Okay, so he is going to just do the double kick shot.
Yep. I guess he wants the hero power value. Oh no, he does the Mad Scientist just right at the end there, past the rope timer.
Right, just want the minion value more like, I guess. Oh, the whirlwind, is that gonna help?
More combo pieces. Well, you can gain a lot of armor and maybe draw quite a few cards here.
Right, but at the same time, you're not really dealing with the high main, and that's a big problem right now.
Yeah, but I think that's like maybe good enough. But no, you don't. You do deal with high needs. Execute.
Oh yeah. If only there was like one more whirlwind effect, that would have been very nice.
If only you could get like a 0 mana cost Warsong Commander. That would really be the nuts there.
Wow, 0 mana cost for song. Jeez.
One can hope, right?
Oh yeah, we definitely need to buff this deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if Trump actually started with like a Deathbite or something, this game would have been over. So it's all about those key cards, right? Hunter drawing the Savannah High Main and, you know, Patron Warrior drawing those weapons early on. Okay. So yeah, Trump is going to decide to do some Whirlwind, get some armor like you said, and draw some cards. Maybe he actually top decks does he have time to top deck a Whirlwind and play the second one? Oh. Like, what if he draws a Whirlwind right now? That would be so gross.
I don't know. For me, it's frozen.
Yeah.
Okay, no, he drew an Execute.
Yeah, so not quite.
Not quite. But that's still pretty decent. I think if he had time, he may have played that Execute on the Ooze.
So here,
and
9 damage? So
I think it's 1 off,
7?
right?
1 off. 1 damage.
Yeah. So I guess it's booming time.
It's booming time? Are you scared of the frothing at all? Oh, I guess you clear it with the ooze, right? Might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, booming time.
I guess you could apply the pressure, just like silence the froth. No, because you don't want to leave the Armor Smith either if you do that with another creature on the board. You can kind of maybe recover. I like the booming time, because even if he has like a Whirlwind or something, it could just be a complete disaster and like die.
Okay. Well,
we've seen that. We've seen that, so it happens.
Okay. So Dr. Boom it is.
Dr. Boom is like the best card in the world against this deck. Because, you know, you think you're winning as the Grim Patron Warrior, you have lethal, and then you trigger against your first Boom Bot and it kills the Warsong Commander, or it kills your Frothing, or it kills your Grim Patron that just spawned.
But it's such a small chance, right? Patron, like the Grim Patron combo is actually a counter to Dr. Boom Boom Bots, right? Because they double spawn your Grim Patrons. So
no,
it's super unlucky.
It's not a counter. I mean, I've seen the YouTube videos. It happens every single time.
But it's YouTube videos, you know, it's kind of different that way. Oh man.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. So so here I think all your cards cost too much. So I guess Ekop is gonna win 2 games in a row and is actually the first person to get out of the groups. Do we expect this?
Oh really? Like, no. What if he got the Whirlwind there? That would have been fine.
Oh, but he didn't. So yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. It was actually quite slim, right? I mean, if it was a Whirlwind.
It was like
actually,
7,
if it was, he would have stabilized, right?
Yeah.
But not quite.
Okay. Well, he's not dead here, I don't think.
Well, with the... Oh, yeah, I guess...
Oh, the kill command.
Yeah.
Is kill command enough? I think it is.
6 plus 7? Not quite.
No, almost, but not quite, yeah.
6 plus 7 is not 15.
Well, I guess you silence the Armor Smith and then trade a Boombot into it, right?
Sure, because patrons have been not running Sludge Belchers anymore. That's kind of like changed to some more cycle, even unstable ghoul, so for more combo opportunities.
I don't like giving him the 1 armor when you're trying to push for lethal, though.
Yeah, I guess. Well, Ekop's just gonna do that and maybe save the Elf for something else. I don't know. I mean, at this point, you're so ahead.
I mean,
might
how
as well just save
close?
the
How
utility.
close are you? You have it's 7 + 6, so yeah, it's really really close. You just need 2 damage. Now you need 3.
Oh, 1 damage. That's not gonna change anything.
He can still get it if it hits for 4, right?
Oh, you can try again? It's just gonna suicide your Boombot like that? Actually,
Why not?
That'd be right.
Why
That
not?
actually could be right.
1 out of 8, you win the game. It seems reasonable to me.
Oh, one of it. I mean, like, the thing is, like, it's more reasonable to kill your own Boombot, so if Trump decides to, like, do the Grim Patron combo against you, then it's actually dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no. Just gonna do that.
Oh, Whirlwind Boys.
That's a bit
1
late.
card late.
Yep.
He can't stabilize. Because that's probably a freeze trap. If it wasn't, you might be able to.
Yeah.
What now?
So I guess you just play the draw game, hope for the best, and then you'll die.
Hope for a Dread Corsair, and that's why I kept the, kept
No, I think if you make this play, you play Patron.
the... Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh. I think, Yeah, see? It's
Whoa!
it's a counter!
I believe you.
Alright.
Greetings,
Well, my lord is gonna
greetings,
take out a
traveler.
game. Oh, baby.
Greetings,
And Ekov is
greetings,
having a real
traveler.
fun, of course.
Yeah, you cop
pretty-
2-0'd. You cop 2-0'd, man.
Yeah, Ekov is, showing like he's, pretty much... Oh, actually, Ekov is the captain of Cloud9. At least for this tournament, because everybody has to elect a captain, right? To, like,
Okay.
decide who goes next and stuff like that. And Ekov is pretty happy with himself.
That duck face dance, man. Look at that. All right. Well,
Alright.
Ecop getting 2 points for his team, while Kento dropping the 3. Almost evens out.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna pop off, and hopefully Frodan is ready to join you guys again. So have fun casting, guys.
All right, thanks for coming on, Amaz.
All right. I'm sorry about that.
Hey, what's up?
But it wasn't bad casting with the Maz, right? You had fun.
Yeah, I had fun. I had
Did
fun
you miss
casting
me,
anybody,
though?
just not with myself. Like I'm
anybody but the
I'm
king.
even okay to solo cast, just not when I'm like as sleepy as I am right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So things are not running like very well in my mind right now. Like it's kind of like gears, you know. And sometimes when they're like really rusty and stuff, they just don't move at all. That's basically what's going on.
Tell me
But
more.
also what's going on is Ecop getting 2 points. How about that? 2-0.
Yeah, I think he played pretty well. I think people always undervalue Ecop. They look at the rivalry between Trump and Ecop, and they think, man, I really want Trump to beat him because Ecop just BMs Trump nonstop. And they always kind of look at the personality piece of Ecop. He looks at cameras funny. He's, he's kind of a jerk sometimes. And they forget that they're underneath that. He's actually a great card game player. Back in WoW TCG, Ecop was like player of the year and in the entire professional circuit at one point when he was playing at his best. So this guy is really smart. Oftentimes a little bit too smart. I think he cites motivation issues because Hearthstone comes a little too easy to him compared to some other players who need to grind a lot. And sometimes he gets distracted by other Blizzard games like Heroes of the Storm. But I think Ecop, when he comes back and he asserts himself, he's one of the best players.
Yep. And another thing we saw is Grim Patron Warrior getting wrecked again.
Yeah, I also caught the very end of that game too, where it's just like the Hunter could do anything it wanted, and Patron was just going to die. And I don't understand exactly why. It's just I feel like it has to do with a little bit of variance, but Grim Patron has to have something atrocious like a 15 to 20% win rate today so far.
I don't think it's that low. I think it's still higher than Ebola Pally, played by
Think so?
RDU.
That was
Ebola
like
Pally was
right?
25%. Yeah, 25%.
Yeah.
I think Grim Patron Warrior is above 25%. I think it's like 30.
Yeah, marginally better, but still struggling a lot. But, now that Ecop's down, it still helps people narrow it down a little bit more. More importantly, he evened up the series, even though Team Value Town was up 3-1. And we're going to go with a good old Trump versus Kento, going into Rogue versus Warrior.
These players have faced off against each other many times in the past. And it's been a lot of back and forth stuff. They're both extremely strong players.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I again really like Rogue's chances in this matchup, generally speaking, because of Blade Flurry, but I feel like it's maybe time for this Grim Patron Warrior to show what it's made of. I think it's going to line up some of the draws. I think it'll be really nice on curve, and I think it's going to be super powerful. It just feels like time for this warrior to shine, don't you think?
Nope.
No, he's on the coin.
It's gonna get wrecked again.
No, he's got Fiery
Patron
War
Warrior.
That's great against Rogue. And Rogue
Patron Warrior gonna get wrecked again. It's gonna be like a 12 damage blade flurry to kill the board and like one shot the warrior.
Okay. Well, I think the Rogue definitely comes in here as, generally speaking, the one that gets the nod in terms of the matchup advantage. But I don't really underestimate too much. All Trump needs is one card, Crip, the Death Spite. That card is the key to this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
If you get the Death Spite, you shut down everything.
We saw Kento making like very conservative plays with Violet Teacher against the Freeze Mage, but that was probably just that one matchup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point too.
Here we might see like that thing go wild.
Tossing away the Armor Smith. I think it's a really nice move there from Trump. Armor Smith doesn't really generate much value. In fact, it doesn't even trade that well with any minion other than Thanos. It doesn't
trade with anything, yeah.
Yeah.
A double Violet Teacher with a spell-heavy hand with prep again. No coin, though. No coin.
But, I guess he has to deal with his other 2 mana 0-cost spells. So, there it is. But, there's still time for the warrior to kind of stack things up here. A lot of times people sometimes even equip this Fire War Axe and get chopping immediately to the face. If you think about it, it is basically Fireball. Sometimes you just spread out that damage over 2 turns.
Yeah. I don't usually like that line of play, though.
The inner arena expert is cringing when you see the Fiery War Axe to the face on turn 2.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. It does make sense. Against some decks, it just doesn't kill anything unless you double tap into something. And
no, you're right. You're right.
Hitting a creature twice with Fire War Axe is generally a disaster.
Well, Trump doesn't have much to do here, but he does have some cards that'll allow him to cycle and maybe even enable him to do other cool stuff like slam with the Fiery War Axe on a 4-drop. That'll be good to stall while he pieces together other combo parts.
Mm-hmm. Kento's thinking about the Shredder, which is really interesting. The Violet Teacher, to me, seems like far the better play, but it is the one that's going to get punished probably less. As we have seen that the Grim Patron Warriors are running double slam, and with double slam and Fiery War Axe, the Violet Teacher is actually more vulnerable.
Yeah, because it pieces together really well there. Not to mention that the Pilot Shredder also is a little annoying for the warrior to deal with, just because, sure, you might have the weapon, but can you deal with whatever comes out there? It's not always guaranteed.
Yeah. All right, fair outcome.
Yeah, that's about average.
Yeah, I think that's actually exactly average.
Yeah. Oh, I think the average is like
2.3
2.3 and like 2.4 or something like that. So yeah, kind of basically the middle of the road there. Slamming to cycle. That's an interesting play. I think Trump really doesn't like his hand that much at all. So going for that slam is reasonable, although it does limit you in terms of dealing with other cards like Azure Drake. You have to part ways with an inner range.
Well, I think he's also setting up like a potential Whirlwind play.
Yep, that's also a possibility too. It allows him to deal with 5 health creatures with a Whirlwind and an inner range.
Mm-hmm.
So Kento picks up the South Sea Deckhand. That's not really entirely useful.
No, but it's not terrible either.
Pay attention, class.
Yeah, I like.
I don't like the deckhand if you're gonna play Violet Teacher though.
Oh yeah, I think you keep that deckhand as a combo enabler or a way for you to get the damage in and burst your opponent. I think it's fun keeping it that way. Otherwise it's just a 2 damage charged minion, kind of like a Bluegill Warrior, the little Murloc dude. Because they just get swept away by Whirlwind so easily. Speaking of Whirlwinds.
Yeah, we'll probably see Grim Patron, Inner Rage, Whirlwind.
Would you Inner Rage the Violet Teacher just to finish her off at all? Or would you just spend both Inner Rages on the Grim Patron?
Yeah, you might want to finish off the Vile Teacher, but you give up 2 patrons. That kind of sucks.
It does feel rather whimsical to try and rely too much on, like, it's just a little too impulsive, I think, to rely too much on the Grim Patrons to carry you if you just go for the ultimate amount of patrons. Because the Violent Teacher, and if it gets like a Blade Flurry out, then you're just gonna be struggling for a long time.
Well, with this kind of play, it's that is the safer sort.
Yes. Yes.
Well, the rogue needs an answer, and nope, it doesn't have weapon buff. Doesn't have spell damage.
Okay, so you can take out 2 of these patrons, 3 of these patrons, but then you're stuck with a 3/3 that just kind of sits there.
What about deckhand, attack the 3/2, and then Vile Teacher and weapon into the 5/1?
Oh, that's actually a great play, I think, relative to his situation. Because then the 3/3s easily get challenged by the 3/5. Okay, so he doesn't trust the Grim Patrons at all. He's going to eviscerate one of them here.
An even more aggressive play.
Okay, so answering the aggressive move from Trump with his own aggressive move. Yeah, he's really hoping this unstable ghoul gives him some good synergy. But
well, it is right now.
Yeah, it just takes a simple
and
draw.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Wow, you play almost that entire hand.
Yeah, actually, I don't see why not. Well, you can. Well, actually, you'd give up all your 1/1s from Violet Teacher.
Well, what if you just gave him a card to keep your 1/1s? Deadly Poison into the 1/3.
Well, this way he doesn't actually take any damage on his Violet Teacher, so it can't get executed. But it is so inefficient based off the way.
Well, you don't take damage the other way either.
Okay, so go through your play again. What was your play?
You weapon up Deadly Poison into the ghoul. He'll get an extra card off of that, and then you Violet Teacher prep Blade Flurry, and you get 2 1/1s, and you get to push for more damage.
I'm really scared to give him an extra card as well.
Why? You just use Patron and like all the activators.
Yeah, but then you help him dig deeper into your deck to answer it, like because now you're still pushing 6 damage.
Okay.
I mean, I can understand a lot. You're right in the sense that's the highest optimal value play, but the
1/1s I guess are a pretty big liability in some situations.
Yep. Well, in case the second patron in the Warsong Commander, that's definitely not what you want to see. I don't know. Rogue's making the push, but if Trump can survive this push, I mean, there's really nothing else outside of sprint draw that's really going to keep rebound the Rogue back into this game here.
Yeah.
Time's running out. Trump, you're scaring me. He's going to armor up past. That's also a legitimate thing, too. Okay, Armor Smith.
Looks like we have Armor Smith. Yeah.
Just kind of tossed down to the fire. Just gain a little bit of life. Do you just go all out, play your entire hand, kill off this Armor Smith, and just go?
It feels like if you wanted to do that, you'd do this last turn.
Right, on the 1/1s. But you don't want to take damage on her Violet Teacher so she can't execute it. Or even use Death Spite to get within range here with double dip damage.
Yeah.
Alright, so Kento is all in.
Yeah, that's not really going to work, though.
Yeah, because Trump's got the Grim Patron.
Patron boys, everyone get in here.
That's really effective. Really, really effective. And Kento will have to get Blade Flurry. But, I mean, ideally, he still gets Sprint. Sprint into other cards.
Kento can stabilize from a Grim Patron push. Because one of the last Patron dies on the 3/2. And the other 2 patrons, one can die to the Vile Teacher, the other to the weapon.
That's true, but then the War Song lives.
Yeah,
I guess you're not really
cards.
too. Yeah, I guess you're not too concerned because this is the second Grand Patron, right? But still, I think I'd rather kill off the War
Kind of
Song.
frustrating.
Why don't you just draw Sprint into Blade Flurry? That would be great.
I think just Blade Flurry is great.
Yeah, but Sprint allows you to utilize the 7 other mana. Show that Farseer who's boss. Oh, he goes face.
Yep.
That is man mode.
Start stacking up that damage. Well, that card sucks.
Yeah, SI7 agent by itself turns out it's just kind of average. But I still think you play it, right? Just for board presence.
You don't have to.
So
You can leave a Grim Patron on the board at 2 health.
Well, I mean, either way, you're leaving a Grim Patron on the board
No.
this turn, right? Or you're gonna kill off. You're gonna leave the War Song Commander and you kill off the Grim Patrons.
Well, I think Kill the Warsong Commander is probably a bit better, but if you wanted to get all the Grim Patrons off, you could.
option.
That's true, but I feel like the War Song is ultimately the bigger threat, the biggest threat.
Mm-hmm.
Although
but
I guess you do.
I think if you do leave a 3/2 Grim Patron, then you actually do save the SI7 because Trump is playing pretty aggressively. You might go face the Grim Patron, you might get a freebie.
Okay. Bot Teacher is also a high priority target there. So you know that the Grim Patron will want to trade into it, assuming you can't kill him. Now the bad news for Kento is that there is
That
a
is
whirlwind.
really bad news.
Wait, this isn't lethal by any chance, is it? 2, 5 plus a
3
whirlwind.
plus 6. 3 plus 6. So no.
Yeah. It's pretty good though still, because now you get to kill out the Vile Teacher and you put out a lot of damage. And Kento also used his deadly poison. So this has to be like a series of amazing draws here for Kento in order to survive
Yeah, it
and
really
not
does.
go 0-3. Oh, swing and a miss.
I
I give up.
don't believe it's 0-3. I think he's 0-4.
0-4?
Yes. What is 0-4?
Oh, Trump's done for the day. Pack it up, boys. The mayor
Pack
is
it
going
up.
home.
Oh man, Klento's having like a
Yeah.
really, really unfortunate run here.
It seems like always one player is getting trapped here and cornered for at least one of the teams.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, no, never mind. Dog ended up winning his game, right, with Freeze Mage. Okay. Have we even seen Kibler since the first game, by the way?
Nope. Kibler has to win one with the Hunter. Dog has to win one with Rogue. As these decks start being eliminated, you have like slightly better and slightly more predictable matchups usually.
Mhm. Yep.
But still being behind games, and I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like both Rogue and Grim Patron Warrior have been really inconsistent today, and those are both of Kalento's decks.
Yeah, that would make sense, too. If Kento loses again, say they throw Kento out, he's going to get benched twice in the same series, Crip. And that might be a record not broken for a while. You only can get benched.
Yeah, you
twice
can't
in
get benched 3
series.
times. I was thinking about it. Yeah, you cannot get benched 3 times in the same set. All right. Well, no one could break his record. They can only only accomplish it.
Yeah.
It might be named after him actually if it happens again.
Oh man,
Like I pulled
that's
a
the
Kento.
ultimate humiliation when a bad achievement ends up getting named after yourself.
Yeah. But again, it's not really his fault. Like everyone's played great today.
Right. I feel like his Patron Warrior specifically has also been struggling with some of the draws too. Although you could argue that it could be the tech that they include. Some players are mixing it up a lot. That's why guys like Tiddler Celestial, for example, he was bringing 1 Armor Smith and 1 Shield block, so that way he could address the meta a little bit better. And he was doing a little bit of weird stuff throughout his entire Patron deck. So maybe maybe just the deck preparations overall and some of the small card choices ends up influencing it. But overall, I agree. I think the play has been pretty solid from both ends so far.
Yeah, I feel like the tech decisions and all that kind of stuff is still pretty marginal because in the end you're playing a combo deck. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, the tech choices usually have a lot more weight in like mid-rangey decks.
Yeah, I think so.
It is kind of a mid-range deck, but it's not really how you win. It's a different play style.
Yeah, certainly. The combo is very effective there. Now, we still haven't seen StrifeCro play as mage, right?
No, we've not seen the mage. We've not seen the Hunter of Kibler.
I'm sensing it's
And
time
there we
to
go.
see it.
Time to see both.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Little East meets West here. We got Kibler versus StrifeCro.
Is it East meets West?
Yeah, it's like the East bamboo, like Asian influence versus like the... I guess dragons are a very Eastern thing too. Never mind. I guess the origins of it. I'm not talking about for their origins. I mean, this is pretty much an all-Western tournament outside of Team Celestial, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Unless you count Amaz. Well, Amaz not playing. Never mind. Amaz is also technically from the Asia region.
Technically. A lot of technicalities. A lot of these pro players are from a lot of places, basically.
True that.
Like, these Americans. 2 Americans.
That's right.
Oh,
Americans. StrifeCro comes from the great Texas state, one of the biggest countries in the world, essentially. Like, Texas is kind of like its own country, effectively.
Yeah.
Kibler's also from Los Angeles, so he's actually not too far from StrifeCro. Both of them live about an hour apart.
Look at that. Acolyte of Secrets.
Acolyte of Mystery.
Whoa.
Wasn't there a villain in
it's Medivh versus Alira.
Oh.
Hello.
How about that?
Hello, Wanderer.
Kibler looks bored. Look at that Hunter. Whatever. Okay, that's nice.
On your head.
I think he looks a little nervous because the great Shiro is looking over him.
I'll show them.
Also,
He's pulling out the dog supporters.
I think there's some like bug or something. See like the secret there. There's no way there's a secret up right now.
No, not unless this is a heroic adventure of some sort where your opponent starts with
Bonus gun! Bonus gun.
What sorcery is this?
Alright. I really like the freeze trap. It's really never going to hit on anything, so it's good on that one.
Yeah, I mean, the mad scientist, you just don't want it to pop back, but it does. It's okay, though. Ultimately, you just really need to draw cards, and mad scientist gives you something to play on curve for turn 4. Unless you want to ping the knife juggler.
Whoa.
Whoa, reckless. Okay.
Wow.
Whew. Hello. Tougher.
Yeah,
okay, he's just going phase.
That was an extremely aggressive play. Because if that juggler hit the Acolyte, it would have sucked.
I mean, he's got Iron Beak Owl and he's got Lotheb. Like, these are 2 shutdown cards against Mage, not to mention the hero power. So I can understand Kibler's rationale of, like, I'm not going to take this slow. You know, I like to move fast. I'm just going to go ahead and attack the face as much as I can. But like you said, you don't want to give cards to the Freeze Mage. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. When there's nothing on the board, just go ahead. Charge. Hit the face.
Work it up.
Hero power.
Double owl. Okay.
Different hero, same face.
Yeah.
Just keep hitting it. Do you like the animation of this one, by the way? I think it's pretty cool.
The steady shot.
Yeah, it
It's got
feels
like
some
purple and
leaves.
green effect and stuff. Like a poison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
Wow, you are hard to please.
No, I don't like the Hunter overall. I think Medivh is like standard. I think Medivh is like par. This is like what we can expect from like golden heroes. And then Alira is like garbage, and then Magni is like way exceptional.
Because the hammer coming down?
The hammer, the voice acting, he just looks cool. I don't know. It's like really well themed, I think.
Well, Medivh is pretty cool too. I just wish the fireball was maybe
right.
at least a little purple. Like if you hovered over it, converted purple or something like that.
Yeah.
This play to draw cards feels really hard to... Like, it doesn't feel like it's just guaranteed you to get much. If you play Mad Scientist, at least maybe you can try to weed out some of the life gain, or maybe even the Ice Block.
I'm kind of like looking at this game and seeing how StrifeCro basically has almost no chance.
Oh, there's certainly a chance. I mean, the draws
there's always a chance.
might give him, like... He might get Ice Barrier into Ice Barrier type of thing, and then just gain so much life.
You think it's double owl time?
Well, I mean, the thing about the Ironbeak Owl is I want to save one for the high main for the inevitable freeze.
Who to
Don't you
shoot?
think? Because
Yeah, you should probably save one at least for Doomsayer.
Yeah, or Doomsayer, you're right. But like, either save one so that way you can silence your minion, so you can press for an Ice Block pop or lethal, or you save it for Doomsayer, like you said. Pretty sure you're hero powering, but I'm not sure about whether or not you worry about this Thanos trading well.
You don't.
Now.
Actually, yeah, you do want to put your opponent on even health.
Yep.
Because it's not for killing him; it's because Quick Shot puts him on odd health, and you could you can proc him at 1 rather than 2.
Does 1 versus 2 really truly matter versus Hunter?
I guess not.
In terms of the Ice Block?
Yeah, I guess not. I guess you just stay at even.
But generally speaking, you're absolutely correct. And look at that. Ice Barrier was drawn. That's pretty big. Because now it gives StrifeCro an opportunity to be able to get a lot of life gain and maybe stabilize
I'll
enough.
show them. I'll show them.
He's still going to camp on this a little bit. He knows that this is a little bit slower, Hunter, still.
Ho ho!
Yikes. Kill command.
I think we're just more Smork.
Well, the smart play would be to just like use your burn to the face here, but I mean, oh, you mean
What
developing?
to do?
You mean the minions hitting?
Yeah, the
face.
1/1s.
Okay. I still think the high main might be the best play here, just because of how much pressure.
Oh, absolutely. I
yeah.
think that goes without saying. I think it's just if you want to clear up some of that board, but I don't think it's worth it at all.
Yeah. What I like about also the high main too is that even if it dies for some mythical magical reason, a high main can die, like Flame Strike. You still have a minion that might activate the kill command because of the death rattles.
And you always have the owl as well.
True that. The owl can unfreeze the high main for 6 damage. In fact, that would be lethal if his opponent just like Frost Nova'd and assumed that he was okay.
Interesting.
You think if he draws Frost Nova, that might actually happen? He's
Realistically,
out already. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Team Value Town would go up 5-3. More importantly, Kibler would be undefeated whenever he has a dog face behind him.
That's a pretty freaky dog face.
His own dog. That's
Oh,
his
it's-
dog.
He impaled his dog's head on a stick.
Yeah, and he blew it up twice the size. Because his dog's not that huge.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he drew Frost Nova.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh. The temptation is so real right now. Okay.
He's gonna do it. Oh! Yeah, he did. Okay, good. Almost a disaster.
How much damage does he have at the moment? He's got 6, 11, 14.
Actually, is it even good to attack here?
That's a legitimate concern, considering that you might be able to burn him down, but I think it's fine, because either way, you're removing all the armor this turn, or you're just keeping it on it, and you're floating around the same exact health anyways.
Mm-hmm. Lotheb seems okay, but he's still gonna get a secret, so... Ooh, Silence and Lotheb.
Okay.
That does make Frost Nova very attractive.
Yeah. Now Frost Nova's probably the only play here.
That's like the fastest card I've seen StrifeCro pick up ever.
Well,
It's
normally
like
like
his turn started and then Frost Nova happened.
Yeah.
There you go.
And if you can develop Ice Block, next turn, which he should be able to, StrifeCro basically has this game in the bag. Unless his opponent draws the second kill command. Yeah, that's the only way. Second kill command is lethal.
But like he can't Alistraza. So
oh wait, he doesn't have enough mana to do that. No,
Yeah.
StrifeCro wins no matter what, I think, right?
why?
Interesting.
He has to
'Cause he can-
block and not get procced, but he will get procced.
But he has Blizzard and Ice Block next turn.
Oh, I see.
And then he
Yeah,
develops
yeah.
Ice Block, and then he just Alexstrasza's, and then he has... Well, actually, no. He doesn't have damage to kill in one turn. Like, I assumed that he had damage because of the Pyroblast and Fireball combined for 16. But he can't play both of those.
But what about Wolf Rider and Kill Command here? That's pretty strong. That's 10. You can proc next turn with Quick Shot and Hero Power.
Yes, that is excellent. In fact, I think that is the play.
Well, it's certainly not another high main.
Not unless you're feeling generous.
Yeah, I mean, the reason to those watching, the reason you don't play high main here is because if he can't handle your existing high main, you're going to win anyway. But if he can handle that, it'll trigger on both high mains, which means that you'll lose.
Yeah, more importantly is that you're now threatening to actually kill, because the high main, the purpose of the high main here is so that way you can set up, that way you're always threatening to kill the mage, even though it's just trying to stay alive. So, okay, so Kibler will set up this ice block, and oh man, now he just needs one more fireball.
I think he needs a little more than that.
Well, if he gets the second fireball, then he has Alexstrasza into 15 damage.
Oh, with the Frostbolt. Oh, you're right.
Yes.
You're right.
However, wait, one thing to also consider is maybe how much damage he can do. Maybe he can Alexstrasza himself, perhaps?
He will have to. And then it'll be Alistraza plus the 3 from this turn, plus... Actually, that's true. If he Alistrazas himself and then top decks a fireball in the next 2 turns, then he'll win. I think that is the win condition.
Yeah, or he can... Actually, he has a second Blizzard, too, so he might be able to get mileage off of that Alexstrasza. It depends, though, because there's still a lot of damage coming the other way with the Shredder. Because you Alexstrasza yourself, you have to kill the Loatheb. Or do you? I mean, now you can Alexstrasza... Wait, can you do that? Can you get away with it? I think you still have to. I think maybe you Alexstrasza yourself, trade into Loatheb, and freeze the high main.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is maybe okay, though.
He's going to be 1 damage off lethal if he draws Fireball. So he needs a second Ice Block right now.
I think Kill Command is fine next turn, actually. I think you just want to develop high main. Unless you want to kill Alistraza. That's reasonable. Like how... That's actually the play. I think you kill Alistraza and drop the high main. Because with Alistraza you're at 24, what do you die to?
Who to shoot?
Well, the same question exists as well. Like, I don't disagree. I think killing Alexstrasza is the really safe and guaranteed play. But you don't actually die to any combination of cards, now that you saw an Ice Lance.
Now.
Yeah. Just no Doomsayer. Okay, perfect. Man, Kibler sees it. This is hard to see. I feel so, at least.
Yeah, it's hard to resist, right, when you're like trying to pressure this much.
That is perfect. That is the absolute.
Because you also
best play.
think I want to hero power as much as I can, right, to get him.
Oh my god.
Let's see.
No, not quite. Not quite.
So he can Thorson and freeze the high main, and then So you want to Frostbolt the 3/2? Sorry, I'm as if I'm playing to feel frustrated on behalf of this because I've been in this scenario so many times.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think you have to Frostbolt and Ice Lance.
yeah, you can't take this much damage. Okay. Still doable, but it's very difficult.
Oh,
That
wow.
doesn't help.
That does help, because the 5 damage is what StrifeCro needed.
Well,
Without,
I mean,
without
think
the 5 damage,
prefer-
StrifeCro can't really do anything.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. But the fact is, Thorzen can just sit here.
Wow, Ice Barrier. Are you kidding me?
If he Blizzards, how much damage exists on the board? 4? Blizzard Ice Barrier? And then you just let Thorson just sit there making things cheaper?
Yeah, you'd have to leave Forsen on the board. Getting him frozen is a colossal mistake.
Yeah, okay. That's definitely the case, because next turn you'll have Pyroblast and Fireball for 10 mana, right?
Mm-hmm.
That gives you a lot of options, because Pyroblast finally gets unnerfed. Wait, is he attacking in? Whoa,
Oh.
okay. So he's gonna replay Thorson? No, it's too expensive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he was anticipating maybe a freeze, an explosive trap. That has to be the only way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Shredder ends up coming here, which is good because it's resilient. Did that attack cost StrifeCro any chance of comeback? Because it's still really difficult, even if
Yeah,
even if you did.
I'm not sure. It doesn't seem too great, though. Oh my god. StrifeCro will not die.
He refuses to die.
Actually,
Well,
if,
I mean, if he really wants to test
Hold
the
on.
waters here.
if he fireballs a Shredder, gets a Doomsayer, he'll win this game for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you want to just go out with a bang,
Is
just
it-
go
is
ahead
it
and,
going out?
and mess with him.
I think that's the only way to win.
Because you have... How much damage do you have? You have 16 damage, 19? Yeah, it's not enough, really. But you still can just ping, and then...
And then what, though? There's really nothing at all to follow.
Yeah, it's actually a really good point. He might have to hope for Doomsayer. And if it's Doomsayer, he could ping the high main and make it 2-2. That would
Yeah, I
be
should have
absolutely
just done this
insane.
first. Oh, Eggy. Alright.
Okay, Kibler gonna press in for 10 damage here. You know what? Also, that egg is really annoying because if he picks up Flame Strike, which would have been a board clear normally, it's now not.
No, it still is. You just attack the egg
Is
with
it?
a 0-2. Or with your 3-3.
Oh, you're right. You can attack the 0-2.
Well, you survive if you play the Emperor Tharson, and next turn you can Pyroblast and Ice Block. I think that's the play. I think it's ping the high main, kill off a 2-2 with the heal bot. Actually, I'd kill off the Scientist, because that might bounce your heal bot the next turn.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe you
Oh,
can get
no.
the second free team trap.
No, it's not. This play is better because... oh, that's lethal. There we go. Kibler takes it, boys. No, because he needed the 5 damage to win. He needed to Ice Block, Pyroblast, attack face with the Emperor Tharson, and draw like another Pyroblast or something. Like that was his win.
Draw a second Pyroblast?
Yeah.
Jeez.
How else was it going to happen?
I don't know. Maybe Antonius. That would have been the way
Yeah.
to be able to net the win. Well, either way, that ended up going into Kibler's favor, and he goes 2-0 for the day. So
Just
that
like
means
Cop.
Value Town is on match point here, and Dog has to
Yeah.
win it with Rogue up against Freeze Mage, Patron Warrior and the other Oil Rogue from Kento.
Yeah, and I think Dog is a rogue player. I think his favorite deck, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to say so. I think that and Druid are like the two classes iconic to Dog. He's also tried to make Warlock like something that he really loves doing too. He specialized in a lot of weird stuff. I remember he tried making this Hobgoblin Warlock deck, and it ended up winning a game, I think, in a tournament, but it ended up losing like 2 other tournaments that he was trying to play in just for fun.
Yeah.
I think it was like Kingwin type stuff. So
it's hard to make new unique decks these days, but it's good to see someone try at least.
Right. Now this Rogue deck, I'm thinking you can just send StrifeCro out there so that way you can let Kento do his thing. Otherwise, you risk going ahead and letting the Rogue match up against the Patron Warrior. But you can pretty much do whatever you want, right?
Just do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Maybe
so if StrifeCro doesn't want to wait around, you can just go.
I know these guys. These guys are going to be time efficient. They're going to send the worst matchup first. So what's the worst matchup?
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Kento's, because you have to win all 3. Kento's like, man, I could just gain an hour here. So let's send the Warrior in or something.
Well, that's assuming that you don't want to play the odds and percentages to maximize. But you're absolutely right in terms of the big picture.
Well, if you get wrecked like 6-3, or you go 6-5, it's the same, isn't it?
That's true, but you also get some wins on the board for your own rankings and whatnot. Does Kento want to, like, does StrifeCro want to wait around as well? Like, if Kento has the weakest class matchup, and you're talking about time efficiency, StrifeCro has to sit there and wait for Kento, right, to finish his games, because if StrifeCro wins or loses here, like if he wins, he's done and he doesn't have to do anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess that's the idea. Sense. Fine. We'll give it to you.
I mean, maybe we're completely overthinking it, but that's my theory.
Maybe it was the dice roll. Just rolled 1 this time.
All right. Well, Dog needs to win this one here. He's the last remaining member from Valley Town that hasn't gotten 2 wins today. They're up 5-3.
Yep, and they've been in this up 2 games position once already, and the gap was closed immediately by ECOP sealing 2 games in fairly dominant fashion.
All right, let's get to it. Rogue versus a mage. We've seen this before, where I think last time we saw it, I disconnected. I didn't get to see exactly how it happened.
Oh, yeah, I don't think the Rogue won. No, the Rogue was Kento, and Kento hasn't won, so no, Kento did not win that match. Yeah, it was a case where he had to like sprint into Farseer and Lotheb, but he didn't have space on the board, and it didn't matter anyway because he had an Emperor Tharson Fireball, so he could Fireball and ping for exact lethal on 7. Pretty funny game actually.
Yeah, it was like, well, you got the right cards, but it didn't matter anyways. Well, that's not exactly the appealing opening hand for
no, that's terrible. It seems like StrifeCro is playing the same type of Freeze Mage deck. A lot of these players are playing exactly the same decks. It's you know, the really defensive one with the bonus heal bot in there. 1 heal bot, double barrier. I like the bonus heal bot, but at the same time, it's like a lot of defensive stuff. So sometimes if you like, it makes you even more vulnerable to just having bad hands.
Yeah, I guess so, because normally you'd like... I mean, I don't know if they're cutting like the second Loot Hoarder or if they're cutting something altogether that's really offensive, like Pyroblast, but I think we've even seen the Pyroblast. But I generally agree with you. I think I really like the draws, because the consistency of Freeze Mage is heavily dependent upon its early game draw mechanics.
Okay.
All right, Rogue's on the coin. It's got Violet Teacher. Good stuff.
I think if we see the Acolyte... Oh, no. Okay. I was just imagining it, like, if we get a prep from Dog, I think he'd, like, consider prep sapping after Violet Teacher.
Yeah, Sap is also good against Doomsayer. It's one of those things where if they Frost Nova Doomsayer, you can deal with the Doomsayer efficiently and even build your board. But you definitely want to deny the draws. This is a very good hand for StrifeCro too, generally speaking. He's got early game plays, draws. Doesn't have the Mad Scientist, but still at least Ice Barrier is very effective because Rogue cannot kill you just through burn alone. Has to hit you in the face. All right, Coin Teacher.
Standard. We'll see if it comes to the point where Kento was at, where his whole board was 1/1s that were useless and he couldn't play anything. What do you think of just the YOLO Doomsayer here?
I don't mind that. I also don't mind just fireballing the Violet Teacher. I know it might be like, well, I don't really want to waste fireballs, but you have Antonius in the hand, and he's the king of fireballs. He majored in fireballs and got his PhD shortly thereafter. You're set. He's also dead in the Warcraft lore. Spoiler alert.
What? I thought the statue was just in memory of a living Antonius.
I don't know. I just remember reading that everyone died. Basically, Warcraft was Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones.
Oh, I don't know. I never read the lore. All I know is there's a statue of a lot of people like everywhere, so that's probably true.
Oh. You know, in Warcraft, World of Warcraft, there's also like... Oh, you definitely know. There's things like honor people like Wreckful and Trump are in WoW somehow.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's also Ben Brode in WoW too, which is pretty
Blizzard's gone. Yeah, they made some mechanic like something with Wreckful or something, Wreckful's item, and then like 2 months later they banned him.
Just Blizzard things.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think losing the Blizzard's that impactful. I think if anything, Dogs or StrifeCro is just relieved that it's not like Alex Straza. The deeper you get into the deck and closer to your win conditions is the priority here. He's got 2 freezes on the board anyways with Frost Novas. So I think he's more than okay with parting ways with Blizzard if it means getting that much closer to Alex Straza. No guarantees, but we'll see how things pan out.
What do you think you're thinking about here? Doomsayer combo, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, 6 mana is a little awkward. You can develop Ice Barrier and something else, but I think the Doomsayer combo is the best considering that your hand's too full. Way too full. You're not really expecting this Doomsayer to do much. There's so many ways for Rogue to kill it, especially with spell power on the field.
Yeah, well, he can kill it with the backstab oil play, but I have to say I kind of like the sap.
Yeah, sap and maybe you can Phantom Knives first if you just feel like it's...
No, I think you want to develop a weapon with the oil draw.
Okay. Also reasonable.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, Blade Flurry 2. There's no reason to attack here. Alright, well, if you're StrifeCro, you're just going to try that again.
Yeah, I would assume so, and I think you can usually develop this Loot Hoarder with it. Looking for an alternative play as well, considering that his opponent just equipped a deadly poison, so he might be going for some damages. Ice Barrier is reasonable, but you're asking to get punished pretty hard by some big damage. 7 plus the 6 damage weapon plus the 3, so that's 16 damage coming this way at least next turn.
Yep. Well, that's at most. I don't think anything else can possibly be played here.
Well, yeah, based off this now. It was before we figured out what would be drawn. And it lands on the higher health minion. That's annoying, too.
Yeah, it is. And, again, StrifeCro doesn't have any immediate removal for it that I can see. Actually, it's Frost Nova Ice Lance that has to be used to remove it directly. And that sucks.
Yeah, this is really awkward. I think, because the thing is, now that there's a 6 damage weapon, It's like there's obvious ways that your opponent can deal with Doomsayer and not have to worry about it. Okay. You also have to figure out a time to draw cards. Like Arcane Intellect's just floundering in your hand here, and Acolytes, because your hand's too full. But you need things to like play secrets, so that way you just get the value off of them, and you can set it for Alexstrasza. Yeah, the secrets need to come out here. You might be able to play both secrets. That's right. I was thinking also maybe the possibility of playing Acolyte, but I think that's a little bit too greedy. I don't know about Doomsayer either. That doesn't really do much. Yeah, unless you're trying to just gain 7 health.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. I don't think it's that bad. Oh, wow. That is some damage, boys.
Okay. 7, 10, 22, 23 from the spell power, plus 5. That's 28. Okay. Yeah.
So many.
Dog's got 28 damage this turn.
Well, there's a secret up, so do you really want to do all of that? I don't think so. I think you just want to sprint. Sprint to more options. The thing is, I think you mill yourself if you don't get a prep. And you didn't get a prep. So that's a little bit of a downer. You really can't use the backstab at all. No, I guess you just mill yourself 1 card. Not the biggest of deals. Also, because you didn't get any more weapon buffs, I think it's fair to just attack with a weapon this turn.
Yep. That's cool. You already have a lot of damage anyways. The fact that you're able to get the 2 attacks in with the Dasher Drake with buffed attack from that oil is so huge.
Wow,
oh man.
Backstab it.
That is man mode. He doesn't want to lose another chance for an oil or something. Oh, Emperor Thorson and Frost Nova allows him to make a lot of this hand cheaper.
Oh, there's
and
no
more
way you
importantly,
Frost Nova. I think you just pinged the Drake. Come on.
Oh, you ping the Drake? Oh, and Ice Lance? Okay. That's cool.
Not even Ice Lance. This stuff doesn't do much. You're probably getting Blade Flurry. I think just this is exactly what you want to do. Yep.
Okay.
I guess he's thinking about it, but I don't see it at all.
Yeah, I think he's also counting damage, because what happens if he has second oil? So he has 6, 9, plus 6 more damage, 15, and a Blade Flurry. It's way overkill. He'd lose 6 damage, so he'd be at... How much damage would he be if he froze this SI and he couldn't deal with it? Either way, there's so many ways that your opponent can pop the ice block regardless. Couldn't there?
Wow, he does freeze it. Okay. Spell damage, eviscerate, 10 plus the 6. It puts him at 1, actually. And with the other spell damage, no, you couldn't play that unless you drew a prep, I believe.
7.
So this actually prevents you from getting procced if Dog doesn't have a weapon buff. It doesn't seem like you have a weapon buff here.
Ah, gotcha. He's gonna go with the Drake too, so that way he builds up his board a little bit more. And eviscerate the face. Emperor Thorson definitely served it. Being able to get a lot cheaper minions and spells would be really key. Frost Nova Doomsayer is now 3 mana. That's crazy. All right. So from here, StrifeCro has to figure out if he can pair together damage to win, maybe without Alexstrasza. But I don't think that's likely, considering that there's 11 points of heal inside the hand of Dog.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to make anything out of this. He really needed an Alexstrasza.
Might he consider just setting up Antonidas and going for
freeze
a lot? Yeah, like Arcane Intellect and freezing. And maybe pick up Alexstrasza and then go for the Alexstrasza offensively to try to end the game. And look at that, he's got 3 fireballs.
No, I think.
Four fireballs and a pyroblast.
Oh no, it's 3 and a pyroblast. I think the cards are a bit like weird, but I think it's 3 fireballs and a pyroblast.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay. Right. So 3 fireballs and a pyro and a frostbolt. That's more than enough to hold this rogue over. But does he have the time to play all that?
Okay. Well.
Can you pop the ice block?
Oh yeah, easily.
So you just equip the oil, blade flurry, or you backstab and then blade flurry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have eviscerate to pop ice block again.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds reasonable. Oh, backstab first. Okay, he's playing Thanos. Okay, so StrifeCro's ice block gets popped, and
he only has a heal to stay alive here.
Yeah, and
It's
even
not
then,
really good enough, but coupled with Blizzard, it is just good enough.
Oh, a second mad scientist, right? Or is that the first one? I don't remember. But either way, that mad scientist could be really useful to fish out secrets as well. It feels like you have to play the heal bot, right? You can't get away with just blizzarding and hoping that your opponent doesn't generate 4 damage.
Yeah. I feel like there's some slim chance like Freeze Mage can come back in this situation. It is extremely unlikely, but perhaps I think something can happen here.
Yeah, Blizzard plus Healbot seems to be the play because you set it for 12 health and your opponent can't pop you. Then you can play Mad Scientist.
Apparently not.
Ooh, so he's going to fireball one of the Drake then?
Nope.
Oh man, the greed. And this is a play for StrifeCro to potentially win the game. 4, 7, 11, 12. That's going to be enough. Dog takes it.
Yeah, that's exactly lethal.
Well, you never know.
Dog
Maybe
takes
the
the second
potential
win.
for Fan of Knives, something to draw something nice, but
Oh, yeah,
there
I
it
guess.
is. Team Value Town taking out Cloud9.
Yeah, we had a very close first series in the opener, Archon versus Nylum. But now with Value Town versus Cloud9, Value Town showing that dominance, and my prediction was totally wrong. I thought that Cloud9 to maybe have an actual edge over Value Town with them being a team and working together as they have in the past. But no, here we are. Value Town putting up twice as many wins as Cloud9 was able to. All the Value Town players, had just solid performances. Well, everyone played well, but the Value Towns had like solid win rates, while I guess just Kento really struggled today. Really struggled today.
0-4 was his final score.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad. Because StrifeCro ended up losing a couple times as well. But Kento was the big loser of the day, not grabbing a single win. At least every other player grabbed the win to put under the belt. We'll probably be tracking all of those things over in the Archon Team League. But this wraps up our first day. Hope you guys enjoyed it a lot. We're also going to be broadcasting tomorrow with the remaining 4 teams as you were checking out things like standings in between.
We'll be kicking off with Foursome Boys versus Tempo Storm, and then Celestial versus Team Liquid on in the second round.
That'll be good stuff. It'll be here on this channel, so make sure to hit the follow button. Crypt, do you have any final words that you want to say to close out the day?
Well, just shout out to the sponsors. Thanks to G2A. Thanks to Alpha Draft. Alpha Draft is a fantasy team for Hearthstone. They'll have their website up pretty soon, so you guys can check that out pretty soon. And yeah, it's pretty entertaining. I'm sorry I was a little bit out of it. I think I'd have enjoyed it more if I had a few more hours of sleep tonight. But it was pretty cool. I definitely was impressed by some play of the players that a lot of people expected not to do that well, like Kibler, for instance, and Ecop, I think was kind of struggling a little bit recently, but both of them actually had the most dominant performances today. So how about that?
Sure.
Very cool stuff, very high-level play, and a very cool system to compete in. So, great stuff from Archon, and I hope the future will be as good as it was today.
Absolutely. It's going to be great. So thank you so much for everybody who watched. Tomorrow we're going to start at 10 a.m. Pacific, same time as yesterday, and I believe I'll be casting with Rekful on
That's
here
right.
at Amaz's channel. So again, make sure you hit the follow button on the channel. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you